jail pending extradition. It's 5:05 on AM 560. The Answer. A 16-year-old swimmer from Springfield says the YMCA dismissed her concerns of changing in the women's locker room with biological males present and then ejected her from the swim team. During a news conference Thursday across the street from the YMCA facility in Springfield, Abigail Wheeler, the 16-year-old swimmer who raised objections, said she was uncomfortable changing in a locker room with a biological male.
I was made to feel as though I was in the wrong. I was made to feel as though there was something wrong with me feeling uncomfortable changing in the women's locker room, where biological men were being allowed to undress in the same space as me and my underage teammates.
Christina Newton, a transgender member of the YMCA, believes they and another person were possibly the individuals Wheeler is concerned with.
We was both in our swimsuits, about ready to head to the pool, and we was just talking about my surgeries. That's it. We wasn't showing people our private stuff.
YMCA argues Abigail was not banned from the facility, in their opinion, and that her father and family withdrew their membership. The Illinois Freedom Caucus is taking up the issue, says they will fight at the Illinois State House to protect women and girls in locker rooms and in women's sports. As Governor J.B. Pritzker and business leaders across the state travel to the UK for a business trade mission, many are now questioning the state of business at home and all the taxpayer costs involved in the trip. Pritzker and Speaker of the House Chris Welch are part of that 40-person group headed to the UK. According to Truth in Accounting Sheila Weinberg, there are questions surrounding the cost to taxpayers.
There's obviously a lot of security concerns. So, how much is that's going to cost? We don't know. What type of plane are they taking? Are they going to fly commercial, or are they going to use the governor's private plane?
Today in history, in 1966, 8 student nurses were found murdered in a Southside Chicago townhome. Richard Speck was later convicted for that crime. According to William Martin, the assistant Cook County District Attorney who prosecuted Speck, it was really the first random mass murder of the 20th century.
Subdued the nurses, tied bed strips so that he could tie their hands behind their back. He proceeded to take them one by one out of that bedroom and either stab or strangle or both until he had killed 8 of the 9.
Martin co-authored the definitive book on the Richard Speck crime. It's called Crime of the Century, about the Speck massacre. He did that in 1993. The Monmouth native was sentenced to death. His sentence was reduced constitutionally to 400 to 1,200 years in 1972. He died of a heart attack at Stateville in 1991. Chicago sports. Northwestern has decided who will run its football program on a temporary basis. Wildcat defensive coordinator David Braun, who has little experience at the head coaching position, will be named the interim head. Wildcat baseball program announcing that head coach Jim Foster has been fired after a bad season and a university investigation that brought up allegations that Jim Foster engaged in abusive behavior. Former White Sox outfielder Brian Anderson takes over as Northwestern's next baseball coach. Cubs open up the second half with a game against the Red Sox. White Sox battle the Braves in Atlanta. In the news, a service of Protect and Grow with Tim Stearns. Tune in Saturdays at noon. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, August 24th at Klein Creek Golf Club in Winfield. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft and Sean Thompson for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar. That's 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by HealthInsuranceMentors.com and by Blue Star Security.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts, knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
It's 512 on AM 560, The Answer. Let's get an update on the roads. We do that in our Team Hochberg Traffic Center, a service of Blindster.com. Custom made for your windows. Blindster.com. Shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself. Save big. Blindster.com. It's Roadwork Palooza this morning. We'll start on I-65 in northwest Indiana, 65 northbound to 8094 eastbound starting tonight. Roadwork is setting up to close that exit ramp from northbound 65 to eastbound 8094 until Monday morning. Watch out for that. Tri-State roadwork northbound between the Stevenson and Plainfield Road. Dan Ryan roadwork between the Stevenson and Roosevelt, and that is bottling up the Stevenson as you travel inbound between Ashland and the Ryan. The Ryan roadwork really stacking up the Stevenson this morning, and the outbound Stevenson between the Tri-State and County line is a mess because of roadwork blocking 2 right lanes. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, a blend of sun and cloud, shower and thunderstorm, high 88. Cloudy, humid, shower and thunderstorm tonight, low 69. Mostly sunny, a thunderstorm for tomorrow, the high 83. Partly sunny, breezy on Sunday, the high again 83. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
We're seeing about 5:30 this afternoon. Some of those thunderstorms could fire across the area. Worried about basement flooding, especially with those storms? It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Right now, 71 at O'Hare. Next News 530, Chicago's Morning Answer starts next on AM 560, The Answer.
Tune in to Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman.
Plan ahead for the dangerous situation so that they don't affect you and you can weather the storm and just sail right over it.
Call Steve for your own free consultation today at 833-945-7283, 833-945-7283, and be sure to tune in to Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on AM 560, The Answer.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, commercial property, or even vacant land, let attorney Susan J. Kim step in. She's reliable, responsive, personable, and extremely thorough when helping you deal with an otherwise stressful transaction. Attorney Kim leads with her values and is committed to providing legal services with excellence. To contact Attorney Kim, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com. Whether it's drafting agreements, negotiating contract terms, or closing on a property, attorney Susan J. Kim can do it all. Over 10 years of experience and her wealth of knowledge tackling complicated legal negotiations and breaking them down into a smooth, easy-to-understand process is what she does best. So let attorney Susan J. Kim step in. To schedule your legal consultation today, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com or call 847-906-3166. Susan J. Kim Attorney at Law is a state of Illinois licensed real estate attorney.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century with IoT Smart Connected Scanning. It's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
What does it mean to be pro-life? Picture women living in a welcoming, family-like setting during and after an unexpected pregnancy, going to school or working, learning life skills. Picture a caring Christian staff who walk through these challenges, providing support and guidance. Picture a community of faith-filled supporters who answer the call to support life. That's pro-life at Redeeming Life's Maternity Home Ministry. We are a Christian organization founded to support pregnant women in unexpected pregnancies by offering a home, help, and hope during pregnancy and up to a year postpartum. We are opening a maternity home in suburban Chicago in 2023 and welcome you to learn more about how you can support God's gift of life by supporting women who courageously choose life for their unborn babies. Visit rlom.org for info and opportunities to help furnish this new maternity house and provide a home, help, and hope. Get involved to support life. Visit rlom.org today.
Cable news. Noisy, out of touch, on repeat. Tired of all the lookalikes? So are we. Salem News Channel is here to change the game. Streaming 24/7, free on your TV with the greatest collection of conservative voices. Home to Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Like you, we say what's wrong and what's right. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Salem News Channel. We're the answer to the mainstream media. Learn more at snc.tv.
As a family-owned business, your complete satisfaction means the world to the McGrath Automotive Group. Everyone and everything at all of the locations are dedicated to making the McGrath experience your best experience. Whether you're looking to buy a new vehicle, in for service, or just taking a test drive, McGrath Automotive Group will always give you the personal attention you deserve. Visit one of their dealerships today in person or online at gomcgrath.com. Service, value, reputation. That's the power of McGrath.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560 The Answer.
Good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony, in for another day of fun.
Let's do it.
I gotta tell you, I think I'm at my breaking point.
Uh-oh.
Like, you know how government messes with me? That's one thing. The government messes with my children.
Uh-oh.
And I say my children as in, because I'm a coach.
Yeah.
I consider everyone a child of God, and everybody is, if I coach them, they're my children.
Mm-hmm.
So my children who cannot afford to play club volleyball go to the Broadway Armory because it's a Park District program. One of my players, who was a manager, went to the broad, and I said, listen, I know you can't afford it. Go here. It's like $20. You can go every Friday, and then there's weekend thing. Like become a gym rat and just own volleyball. Okay. Guess what? He's now playing club. He's going to play volleyball in college. So this place helped him. Well, guess what they want to do? It's 5 courts and a weight room, and it's Broadway Armory, and they want to turn it into a migrant shelter.
Oh, no.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Because, I mean, are we busting at the seams? Where else are they going to go? They're at the 10th Police District.
Yeah.
They're at the 19th. I couldn't even
South Shore.
get in 2 weeks ago because they have a horse, one of those police horses in front where you can't get in.
Oh.
And I'm like, what am I paying taxes for? I can't get in to file a report. Like, just do it online. Okay, I guess I'll do it online.
Oh, my.
Some residents are not happy about this because a lot of elderly people, that's where they go to work out because they have a pretty nice weight room there in the Broadway Armory, and they would shut the whole thing down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The demands are, 1, if you are saying transparency, show us that transparency.
We are looking actively for other sites in the community for asylum seekers to reside in, and we want to help in any way possible, but we need our armory to continue to stay open.
Yeah, so some seniors up in Edgewater have concerns of their own after hearing from the mayor's office about plans to move hundreds, 300, mostly men,
That's a lot of people,
into the Broadway Armory.
We are making sure that these migrants, these asylum seekers have a voice, that this crime doesn't go and get put under the rug and get ignored.
But here's the thing. When they talk about it, guess what? That means it's happening.
Right. How are we paying for this?
I don't know. Well, we had, remember the $50 million that was approved by the city council?
That left.
For the month of June.
Right.
And they're at Wright College right now, and they said they're going to be out by August. You really think they're going to be out by August? And then they're at Daly College.
Yeah.
Think they're going to be out by August? They move them in there. Do you think they're going to be out by? I like the plan that Mayor Adams had to pay residents to take in migrants, because I got some empty rooms coming up at the Jacobson household.
No,
I if I found a nice family, but the thing is, you got to find. Why you give me?
Did you see Sound of Freedom?
I could take in. I've got 2 extra bedrooms, and if they're going to pay me $5,000 a month,
Is it worth that headache? Not knowing who they really are.
I know. I had a foster son for 6 months.
That's different.
And that was different.
Way.
Well, I don't know, because I
got a
didn't
whole
really
family.
know who he was. Right.
I mean, we're talking about a whole family, and most of them are men too, right? As you stated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
I'd whip them in line. They'd be scared to come to the Jacobson household. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. So yes, we've spent, and there's other gyms, and we're going to have Alderman Lopez on, because there's another Chicago Park District facility in his ward that has transformed into a shelter for migrants. And I'm not heartless. I understand.
Right.
But come in the legal way. Now is the time for Biden to shut down the border.
Will he be called xenophobic? Alderman Lopez? I mean, he is Latin, right? I mean, he's Latino. So will they call him xenophobic for pushing back against this too?
We're going to have to ask him.
Yeah.
Craig in Mount Greenwood, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Amy, and good morning, Sean.
Morning, sir.
I always enjoy the show when you guys team up and take charge of it. It's very good. I just like you guys as a team. Anyways, what I wanted to mention is this whole issue with all the different facilities and all the different things. There's a school, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was a school that the Chicago Police Department was using for Homeland Security training. Had all their equipment in there. They got it all set up for all kinds of different scenarios and all that kind of thing. They were already ordered to clear that place out, take all their equipment out of there and everything, so that they can turn that into another one of these facilities for just throwing migrants in. So just look at that. To hell with the Homeland Security training for the police. I mean, that we're putting them. I mean, this is nuts. What's going on? They're just tearing apart our society and everything. These leftists with their ideas and how they're going about doing things.
Thank you so much. I'm heartbroken because if they talk about it, and then Brandon Johnson's office says, and he's telling the seniors that this is just going to be temporary.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
Because they go into these shelters, and then they have to find a place to live. They have to
Right.
get a job.
Right.
And one of the jobs, because Pritzker signed it, is that they could become a police officer.
Yeah.
Not even be an American citizen and become a police
And
officer.
force landlords to rent to them.
Oh,
that
really?
bill was signed too. Pritzker signed a bill that basically said you cannot discriminate against people who are here illegally. That was a bill he signed, about a week ago, a month ago, maybe?
Got a text message. John and Amy, these people are not asylum seekers. First lie.
That's true.
I would love to hear each one of their stories.
Yeah.
You know, of how they got here. And
When they first started coming here, I had her on my show last week, Janelle. She actually went over to Burr Ridge where they were staying at the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And started interviewing them.
Oh, and what did they say?
Well, it was a big language barrier, but they were saying that they were being paid to come here.
They were being paid?
They were being paid. They were given money to come here.
To come to Chicago.
To come to America.
Oh, to come
There were
to
people
America.
on that other side.
Oh, because the
of border.
Democrats need to grow their base?
Well, of course, that's one of the big reasons why they're coming here. You know, we've given them driver's license now, official driver's license now, and here in Illinois.
And
that was another bill that was passed.
And
signed
did
by
you?
JV.
I don't know if you saw this because I drive around a lot, and I was in Glenview, and then I was in Skokie, and then Evanston. There's families that are sitting on exit ramps of the Edens, asking for like refugees, trying to feed my family.
Yeah.
So of course I pulled over.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to this one lady, and I was speaking Spanish to her, but she's Romanian, so that didn't go well. I was like, "¿De dónde eres?" And dime por qué están aquí. She's like, "I'm Romanian." And so,
how'd you feel?
So I said, "Well, did you come up through Mexico?" She's like, "No, I'm." So there are hustlers out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then I talked to her brother, who was down the street with his wife and 2 kids, and they're at the exit ramp on the Edens at Old Orchard Road. Total scam. I said, "Well, do you have a place to live, or do you need food? Do you know what?" He goes, "No, I have a place to live." I said, "So why not get a job? And what you're putting your daughter's lives in danger
You are.
by having them next to cars that are going 60 miles per hour."
Yeah, we there was an encampment down where I'm at, down in the Shanahan area. My church was actually going over there to feed them, clothe them, things of that nature. So there was a group of families.
Well, are they for real though?
Yeah, down by the I&M Canal.
Okay.
Yeah, they set up tents and everything, and my church went down to feed them.
Are they still camped there?
I haven't been back down there in a while, so
But
maybe
are-
I'll
but
take
are
a
they
drive down there.
legit?
No, they were legit. They were from, I believe, Guatemala, Venezuela.
Okay.
Yeah, they were legit.
I just don't know how this is going to end. Rich in Indian Head Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, John. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Good. What I wanted to say is we have all these military facilities that we've closed over the years. Why not have all of these people coming from the other countries, all these illegals, have them there? They can all be signed in. We know who they are. And the people that have families and children, we'd be able to keep an eye on them. And we know that they're here for the right reasons. And maybe we can weed out the people that are here for the wrong reasons. It's just a thought. Maybe that could happen. You guys have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate your input. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
But I know because I used to live in El Paso. I saw this all the time. I was a reporter there. And I talked to my friend, and she said they are overflowing.
Right. I don't know what the answer is. We had the answer.
They're in their streets. She took her kids out of school
Yeah.
because they were housing men
Yeah.
in her daughter's middle school gym.
Yeah.
And they canceled sports, which is, one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
Don't touch my sports because of that.
Yeah.
So they've had to make adjustments. So that's why, I'm not upset with them that they, are sending people here to New York or
Right.
to different places. But
Well, the red states are doing that. The
yeah.
red state governors are sending them all over.
Which-
I mean, they're
well,
was
fine. We
Texas-
signed up for this, or
Right.
not we, our politicians
Right.
made us a sanctuary state, a sanctuary county, and a
Yeah.
sanctuary city.
But there is a solution. We had the solution. Go back to Trump era policies. We shut the border down, completely shut it down.
Did you see what Governor Abbott did?
No, what
I
did
wish
he
I
do?
was looking for it. I have
Oh.
it here. I've been blogging it all week, and I don't have it now. He put in a floating border. He put in big orange in
Now I gotta look at it.
Texas. Yeah, Texas. Or what's it called? It's down. It's one of the cities that. It's not El Paso, but it's a smaller town. Eagles Pass. Eagles Pass. Look that up.
Okay.
And he put in this big, huge orange buoys that have metal netting that goes down to the bottom of the Rio Grande River. And he's trying
I
to keep
see
people
it.
out. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Good for him. You're
Yeah.
talking about Bill, and he didn't crowdsource for that. He just did it himself. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, another White House cover-up. Case closed.
course.
in the cocaine, the blow found in the White House. We'll explain and give you an explanation. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Where the cocaine.
5:30 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. 65 degrees this morning and a divided House on Thursday voted to restrict abortion access, bar transgender health services, and limit diversity training for military personnel. Democrats warned they could not support that defense bill with the abortion restriction included. Republicans then accused Democrats and the Biden administration of trying to turn the Pentagon into a hotbed of radical progressivism. The cast and crew of the new movie Oppenheimer are showing their support for the SAG-AFTRA strike, walking out of their London premiere Thursday. Christopher Nolan saying his actors were leaving early to walk picket lines and joining the Writers Guild in the struggle for what they call fair wages for working members of the union. The Secret Service has closed their investigation into a bag of cocaine found at the White House. Fox's Brooke Singman is following the investigation.
No physical or video evidence saying, quote, the investigation will single out a person of interest from the hundreds of individuals who passed through the vestibule where the cocaine was discovered. But Republicans aren't buying it. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says the failed investigation is just the latest example of special treatment for the Bidens.
Just seems to me when it comes to the Biden Inc. family, they get treated different than anybody else.
This isn't the first time drugs have been found inside the Biden White House. The Secret Service actually found marijuana in the White House twice just last year.
Fox's Brooke Singman in Washington this morning. Opening bell ringing on Wall Street after stocks closed higher Thursday. At the closing bell, the Dow rose an average of 47, while the S&P was up 37. We'll keep a close eye this morning on results and earnings from J.P. Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup. The National Weather Service is confirming at least 11 tornadoes touched down on Wednesday evening, downing trees, power lines, and damaging homes and businesses. Places like Des Plaines, Long Grove, Glendale Heights, McCook, Streamwood, and near O'Hare. A body recovered from the Chicago River near the Salt Shed concert venue Thursday evening. A male's body was recovered around 7 p.m., identified as a 63-year-old man. The list of 3 candidates for top cop in Chicago have been submitted for the mayor's approval. The Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability choosing CPD Chief of Counterterrorism Larry Snelling, the department's Chief Constitutional Policing and Reform Agent Angel Novales, and Madison, Wisconsin Police Chief Sean Barnes. White Sox and Cubs know their schedule for 2024. So far, we're trying to forget 2023. Southsiders will open up the year with a home series against Detroit starting March 28, while the Cubs play their first game against Texas in Texas March 28. Wrigley Field will have their home opener April 1st when the Cubs host the Rockies. Speaking of the White Sox, how about a happy birthday shout out to Steve Stone? You guess how old Steve Stone is? 76 years young today. Happy birthday, Stoney. Cubs open up the second half of this baseball season with a game against the Red Sox at Wrigley tonight, while the White Sox visit one of the best teams in baseball, the surging Braves, in Atlanta. The news, a service of PKF Mueller's CPA professionals, business and financial advisors. You can visit the CPA team from Mueller online today. PKFMueller.com, PKFMueller.com. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the significance of talk radio.
Talk radio is enormous. Talk radio has a larger audience than Tucker Carlson does. We are more the last best hope on earth, as Lincoln described America, than ever in our history.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Charlie Kirk at 1 on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Carol Platt-Liebau for townhall.com. The open borders policy pursued in fact, if not in law, by the Biden administration has created far greater dangers from illegal immigration than America's ever confronted before. Aside from the substantial challenges posed by the Mexican drug cartels, America is seeing migration from far distant countries. Most concerning, there's been an increase of more than 1,000% of migrants from countries including China and Afghanistan, and many of the immigrants are young men of military age. It's not easy to reach the United States from either country, and given the oversight and control China in particular exercises over its citizens, it's a safe bet they're coming here with their government's blessing. So why is China, our key adversary on the world stage today, now sending their young men across our borders? And the better question is, why is our government permitting them to do so?
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors in Roselle. Summer is here, which is the ideal time to brighten things up around the house and let the sunshine in. Make the rooms in your house that appear small, dark, or dingy look better and bigger with larger windows or patio doors. Our highly skilled craftsmen can enlarge openings if your space allows. For decades, Woodland has been transforming living spaces with Marvin windows, featuring styles ranging from modern to traditional. Marvin replacement windows and doors can also bring your backyard right into your living space. Ask us about connecting the inside to the outside. When you welcome a Woodland sales expert into your home, you'll get a product expert, a design consultant, a budget hawk, and someone who has your best interest in mind. Our professional services, along with the best products and installation, are why we are proud of our great online reviews. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
No spin, no agenda, just the news. That is what the Center Square gives readers every day, covering vital issues like crime, border policies, and education. The Center Square focuses on holding state and federal government accountable to you, the American taxpayer. Sign up for your state's Center Square newsletter at thecentersquare.com. No spin, no agenda, just news. That's thecentersquare.com.
Rick Borick, host of Unleash Your Wealth.
When the stock market struggles, when inflation is high, you need to start looking through the inventory of all your accounts and say, is every one of these investments working as hard as it could be? Because every month during high inflation that you waste, you're losing 8 or 9% a year.
Unleash Your Wealth, Saturday at 7 a.m. and our new time at 2 p.m. here on AM 560, The Answer.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
5:38. Get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. 55 in the Stevenson, your trouble spots this morning. 55 northbound due to road work. You've got big delays after Route 126 up to the Veterans Parkway. And then as you're traveling on the Stevenson inbound, you're jammed up Ashland into the Ryan merge because of ongoing Ryan road work. Stevenson on the outbound side, you have delays because of road work. On the outbound side, that's being picked up and should be out of your way shortly as you travel out to the tri-state, and then 355. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. We'll have a blend of sun and clouds, a couple of showers, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm will pop up between 5 and 6 p.m. and a high of 88. Cloudy, humid, a chance of showers or a storm again overnight, and a low of 69. 71 right now. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Hey. Come on, sing it. I know you know the words. I've never tried this stuff. I have no interest. I don't do recreational drugs or illegal things. I'm just going to say that right now. And I'm running for office.
I didn't inhale.
I didn't inhale. What
I did.
You did?
Weed? Yeah.
You smoke weed? Or have
When I was young, heck yeah.
Well, now it's legal, so now you can talk about
I so when I applied for the police department,
Uh-huh.
that was one of the questions. I ever used any illicit drugs? I said yeah, and I was like, and I said I can't even tell you how many times. And you heard that's exactly what they did. They started laughing.
At
Why
least you're
lie?
on the-
Why lie?
Why lie? Well, there's a big lie, another cover up at the White House. Can you believe this?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, investigation over, case closed. So the Secret Service came out yesterday and said they found no fingerprints on the bag,
Right.
no DNA on the bag,
Drug test them.
no surveillance video found. Well, the safest place on earth with video cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
No surveillance video found, and no lead so far.
You know the question everybody wants to know though. Where was Hunter?
Well,
that's the question.
thing, because KJP,
Yeah.
the spokesperson, came out and she was adamant. They were not here on Friday, the 4th of July weekend. They were not here Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, Monday. They came back Tuesday for the fireworks.
Right.
Well, they were there on Friday.
Oh.
They were there on Friday because a White House log showed them leaving around 6:34 p.m., I do believe, for
Oh.
Camp David. Because Hunter's now in the White House with his dad.
Right.
Because they're completely controlling him.
Yeah.
So
Protecting him.
Right, my whole thing was, and I tweeted out, which you can follow me again on Twitter at Amy Jacobson SON. They should have drug tested him right away.
Yeah.
Especially because of his horrific record with drug use and crack cocaine and then taking pictures of himself doing crack cocaine. I will never understand that. That's a sick disease. But Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, he responded.
But if they can't tell us who brought it, what else is happening in the White House they can't tell us about? What else is coming into the White House they can't tell me about? That even concerns me more now.
Here's another Republican congressional lawmaker.
Another cover-up. It's the most secure building in the entire world. You can't go in there. They have facial identification. You got to give your social security number.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment, because they said no lead so far. And then they went on to say that the case is closed. But the problem is, it kept going from one room to another. First, it was in the library. It's like playing Clue.
Right.
It's with Colonel Mustard in the living room with the wrench. And it moved and moved and moved. And Kayleigh McEnary, who used to be in the White House, worked in the White House, addressed that issue.
First, it's the Library of the Residence. Then there was some reporting the formal West Wing lobby. Nope, that was dismissed quickly. Then it's in the cubbies as you walk in the West Executive entrance. And then all of a sudden there was this NBC report, it's closer to the Situation Room, which that was highly alarming because that would suggest a staff member. Now, as it turns out, I think that came about because reporters were looking at the map and the Situation Room looks close to the entrance, but it's not. The entrance is not. However, on a map, it does look that way. So I think that was confusion in the reporting. But if I'm Karine Jean-Pierre and there's all this wild reporting, I would have gone to Secret Service because, as Marie knows, half of your job as a spokesperson is to be an investigator, to go get the facts. I would have gone to Secret Service saying there's wild speculation in the press. Tell me where you found this so I can take this to the White House podium. She didn't do that. It allowed wild speculation. The cubby holes, I would say, two groups of people use those cubby holes. NSC staff or staffers walking from EEOB, younger folks coming in. They don't have offices in the West Wing. They use the cubby holes because they're about to walk into a skiff, or a guest of a staff member. You could call it a tourist, but it would be a close relative or a friend. Those are the two groups I would suggest it is. But finally, final point, when asked if this was a family member, for Andrew Bates to say, I cite the Hatch Act, which has to do with elections. Bizarre. Joe Biden's asked questions about this. He doesn't answer. Karine Jean-Pierre asked about the family, and she derides the reporter. I would have gone to Trump and said, they're saying this is your family member. He would have said, absolutely not. I would have gone to the podium and said, I have zero reason to believe this is anyone in the president's family. Why she didn't do that, I do not know.
I mean, can you imagine if this was President Trump's White House?
Ooh.
And there was coke in there? He would be in front of this right away.
Yeah. Remember his sniveling? And he would they would say he was doing coke at the time?
He never has drank alcohol.
No.
He's never smoked a cigarette because his brother died from alcohol. And
Yeah.
drug addiction.
Did we just tell the whole world that the White House has blind spots now then?
Yeah.
Think about that. We just told the world that the White House has blind spots where video can't capture certain areas of the White House. That was smart.
Well, that could have been a bag of anthrax.
Yeah.
That could have been. That's why they hazmat crews came in and evacuated the West Wing.
Yes.
Now, in the Secret Service's defense, Kaylee went on to talk about how heavily traveled that area is.
You know, hundreds of suspects. That makes sense because we now know that it was the West Wing executive entrance there. There are not cameras in the West Wing. There are, however, cameras on the outside. So they would be able to narrow it down to who's walking in and out. But over a multi-day period, that is hundreds of people. You can't nail it down just with camera footage, although I wish you could. But secondly, this ever-changing narrative is complex and peculiar to me.
Did they interview everybody that went in and out of there?
No, see, it's the private. So if you're a somebody like an actress or an athlete or a big donor, you get a private tour where you can see the West Wing. You can see the press room. You can, if you're lucky, maybe they'll show you the Oval Office if it's, if they can. So it's an elite group. And I think that they lied and said it was near the Situation Room because the Situation Room was under construction. So pin it on a construction worker.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. Hey, did they ever solve that case with the noose at the Obama Library?
Oh, yeah.
The alleged
the construction.
The white electrical cord that's what they told me it was.
Well, you'll find that on most construction sites,
Right.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they haven't.
They Bubba Wallace that one. Remember the noose that was hanging from
Oh,
his-
yeah, and it was a pole.
Come on.
Did you? But Bubba Wallace never backed down from that. He's sticking with that story.
I know. This is what they do.
And same with the construction, because I keep, every so often I'll email Chicago PD and say, hey, did you find out who left the noose at the Obama Library construction site? And then I was told by another cop, because you know how you wrap up an electrical cord, an extension cord?
Yeah.
You wrap it up where there's a loop on each end.
Yes.
That's how it normally looks.
Yeah. And on a garage, too.
Yeah, and you pull it down.
Pull down.
So.
You know, Snoop Dogg said that he smoked marijuana in the White House.
Oh,
during the Obama era.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he bragged about it on an interview.
No, I know. Well, you knew Obama when he was a state
Yeah,
rep.
yeah.
He
State
smoked a lot
senator.
of pot.
State
That's what I heard. Am I right?
Allegedly.
State senator? Oh, allegedly. Okay. Yeah, well, that's right, but he didn't inhale.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Sean Thompson here for my friend Tom Fortino of Alpha Wealth Group. There aren't many people who would knowingly leave their job to start another job for a 30% cut in pay. And yet, people do it every day when they enter retirement. Why enter the exciting new chapter of your life with less money? Why trade the stress of work for more stress in retirement? Tom Fortino of Alpha Wealth Group can help. Just call Tom at 630-934-1855 for your complimentary, customized retirement. It addresses many of the big questions you may have, like what to do about Social Security, managing your investments, and how to create income you can never outlive. You can downsize your house, but don't downsize your lifestyle. Get a complimentary, customized retirement plan at 630-934-1855 or visit alphawealthgroup.com. That's alphawealthgroup.com.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, RWA, an SEC registered investment advisor. RWA and Alpha Wealth Group are independent of each other. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
This is Dennis Prager. Now you can listen to my show when it's convenient for you and without censorship from big tech. Become a member of the ultimate online community for all things Prager. It's Pragertopia Unlimited. Listen to every radio show over the last 10 years, all commercial free. You can even listen to all my Torah teachings for free. Join today and save 25% off the first year and get a free Pragertopia coffee mug. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
building owners, property managers, and chief engineers. This one's for you.
Hello, this is Bruce Diedrich with Waukegan Roofing, your professional roofer. Everything starts on top. Your investment, your building, and everything in it is protected by your roof. It needs to be in good shape. That's where we can help. If it needs to be repaired or replaced, or you think it might, call us. Let's find out. Here's the number.
847-623-1625.
At Waukegan Roofing, our employees are union-trained roofing professionals with OSHA safety training certifications and have thorough knowledge and expertise regarding the various roofing systems we sell, maintain, and install. We know commercial roofing systems because that's all we do. Over 110 years of doing commercial roofs. Waukegan Roofing has the slogan,
Roofs you can rely on.
because you can. Here's the number to call.
847-623-1625.
And get the info at waukeganroofing.com. waukeganroofing.com.
Lots of channels, nothing to watch, especially if you're looking outside of big corporate control. It's time to interrupt your regularly scheduled programs with something worth watching. The new Salem News Channel. Straightforward, unfiltered, in-depth insight and analysis from the greatest collection of conservative minds, all in one place. SNC is home to Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, Sebastian Gorka, and more. Watch anytime on any screen. Free 24/7. Find what you're looking for at snc.tv. AM 560, The Answer.
Good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you did your homework assignment.
I did.
But we're going to talk about that at the top of the 6.
Okay.
Because there are strange things happening in movie theaters that are airing Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, you mean no air conditioning, things like that?
Fire alarms going off, things like that. So there's a few things I want to get to.
Okay.
You're a new grandpa.
Yes.
And your face always lights
Yes,
up
it
when you talk
does.
about your grandson.
Yes.
Do you say your grandson's name on the radio or?
Oh, yeah, August.
His name's August?
Yeah, August John.
Because he was born in June?
August
Ew.
John.
August.
Well, there's a fight between me and my daughter who came up with the name.
Okay.
I came up with the name.
August? Well, how'd
August
you come up-
John.
Is that a family name?
No, she's born in August. My daughter, she'll be 21 this year. Woo-hoo.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so I was just sitting up thinking of names, and I said, August John. She said she came up with it, but I got the text messages to prove it.
Oh, okay. That you
I got
came up with it?
receipts. Yeah.
Well, as a new grandpa, can you imagine denying knowing your grandchild?
Oh, no.
What the Bidens are doing, their 7th grandchild. And we're learning more information because now the left, because they're trying, The View defended the president for denying his 7th grandchild. Listen to this. Listen to this spin, huh?
It should be directed to Hunter Biden. It's 5 children, not 4, Hunter, because this is not Joe Biden's baby. The right wing and the MAGA world has decided to weaponize Hunter Biden against his dad.
Maureen Dowd should find something else to write about.
Yeah,
write about something else. I find it unnecessary. This is not anybody's business. Nobody needed to know about this.
No.
This is private.
It's a child.
Did we not live through the Trump years and how they came after the Trump family ad nauseum?
Well, so they took it a little further, saying, well, I'm sure Trump has a grandchild out there that he doesn't know about.
Hey, do you feel like if it was Trump, we would talk about it, is the thing? If Trump had a grandkid he wasn't acknowledged, we'll talk about it. He does.
He probably does. Oh. So that's not enough. Guess what they're doing now? Now they're going after the baby mama. They're going after, her name is Navy. They're going after her mother, Jake Tapper, of all people, on CNN.
For the sake of fairness, that Navy's mom, who had the incident with Hunter that resulted in this beautiful child, she has been caught up in some far right folks.
So now she's a conspiracy theory. Now she's QAnon.
Are you serious?
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
I'm confussed. Not confused. I'm confussed.
What's confussed mean, John?
It's when you don't know.
Excuse me.
Because confused doesn't make sense, but confussed. Ooh.
Oh, and then Dana Bash got involved. I mean, we're talking about a child who has a right to her father.
Yeah.
Because he will not. He went to court to make sure that she doesn't take their name.
Right. Now this was opposite. That lady, that mother, would be on every station talking, and they will be interviewing her about how bad Don Jr. or any of the other Trump sons were, right? She'd be plastered all over. But now because it's Hunter, they want to demonize her?
Oh, they already have.
This is a story that is sad and disturbing on so many levels. Yes, it is political for a couple of reasons. Number one, yes, Republicans are using it and are going to take advantage of it in a way that is unfortunate and inappropriate. But the reason they are doing that is because, and able to do that, is because of the brand and the kind of person that we all know and believe Joe Biden to be, because it's who he says he is, and it's somebody who is a family man. That's what we see all of the time.
But he's not a family man. Wow. These people are liars and scumbags. I mean, a scumbag.
Yeah.
Because he talks to his 6 grandchildren every day, he says.
7.
Like, look at me, I'm a family man. But he is 7. Well, she's too young to probably talk on the phone. Well, maybe she's not too young to talk on the phone. And here's what I found out. Are you and I don't think people know this. In Hunter Biden's 2021 memoir, he wrote dismissively about Navy's mother. Her name's London Roberts, who he met when he was spiraling into addiction and going to Washington strip clubs. He met her at a strip club. He wrote that the woman he had sexual encounters with during his drug rampages were hardly the dating type. Okay. Wow. Quote, I had no recollection of our encounter, he said of Roberts. Yet he put her, this is what people don't know, he put her on the payroll of his consulting firm as a personal assistant while she was pregnant. Okay. And then 3 months after Navy was born, Hunter took away Roberts' company health insurance. And now he's acting like he doesn't know her. She worked for the scumbag. She worked for the guy.
She's beautiful. Did you see the picture of her?
Oh, yeah. She's gorgeous. And the daughter's gorgeous. Yeah. I'm sure Biden would love to smell her hair. So I just think that Navy has the right to have her father in his life as well as her grandma and grandparents. I don't know. What was your relationship like with your grandparents?
I loved my grandparents.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love my grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to hear people's stories about their grandparents, too, because we would go, my mom's parents lived in Skokie.
Yeah.
My dad's parents lived in Niles. So we would go, back and forth, and they were so cute. Grandma Ruth would have our toothbrushes with our names wrapped around them in a little case, and we had our own drawer. Like, she let us have a drawer there so we could put stuff so we didn't have to carry pajamas back and forth. And same with my grandma Ginny. We did the same thing.
Yeah. I only had one set of grandparents, though, growing up. My mom's. Because
that's
I
right.
never
You
knew
didn't
my
know your
dad.
dad.
But my grandfather, I loved him. I mean, even though he was a little racist, he was racist. But I loved
grandpa?
him. Oh, he was. He comes from Limestone, Alabama.
Okay.
So him and my grandmother, they picked cotton down there.
Wow.
And he had a certain way feeling about white people.
That's all right.
Yeah, you crackers. What Dan call them? Honkies. Isn't that what Dan calls?
Yeah, Dan calls him a honky. Dan calls himself a white honky. Phil in Maryville, you are on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the people who use cocaine are always rubbing their nose. They're real fidgety and all that. They have the DNA for that. And if you look, they have a video of Hunter on the balcony.
Yep, I saw that.
Joe, and they slowed it down, and you can see he's all whacked out on something, and he's rubbing his nose. I mean, it's him, and they just don't want to give the information up.
Well, that's a good point.
Is that an old video though?
That was from July 5th, and I watched that repeatedly. Yeah. There's something going on.
Oh, yeah, he's sweating.
And Jill looks like she's trying to hold the family together. Like, I've got this old doddering fool here. I'm trying not to fall, make sure he doesn't fall down. And I got a coke addict, former drug addict.
Yeah.
I mean, I should, we're supposed to praise his recovery.
Right.
But you know why they didn't test? This is conjecture on my part. Because Hunter Biden doesn't get that sweet plea deal if he's connected to this case. Because he's going to court July 26th.
Yeah.
And that deal will explode if they link that cocaine to him.
That deal should be yanked, period.
Oh, that deal. I mean, that's...
Yeah, it should be yanked, period. I mean, especially with the IRS and the FBI interjecting themselves.
It's just another, cover up from the Bidens.
If what he's been proven, if it's been proven, he's an enemy of the state.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the media's bizarre sound of freedom freakout. We'll explain, but now into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
At least 11 tornadoes struck the Chicago area this week. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Stars on strike. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News, TV and movie stars, and thousands of other union actors just trying to make a living are hitting the picket lines today, joining writers on strike over pay for work on streaming projects and the threat of artificial intelligence taking jobs.
The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers and SAG-AFTRA have failed to reach a deal. The studios, in a statement, said the decision will lead to financial hardship for countless thousands of people, while SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher said this is an unprecedented moment. The entire business model has changed.
If we don't stand tall right now, we are all going to be in trouble.
Drescher said they are being victimized by a very greedy enterprise. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
House Republicans pass amendments to a defense spending bill to ban travel reimbursement for service member abortions or coverage for transgender-related treatment or surgery. Most Democrats won't vote for the bill now, and some Republicans oppose more military funding for Ukraine in the bill, so it's unclear if there's enough support to pass it in the House, much less the Democrat-controlled Senate. It's a 7-year, 3-month prison sentence for January 6 Capitol rioter Kyle Fitzsimons.
Fitzsimons seen hurling a wooden archery bow like a spear at police officers in the riots, going on to separately assault at least 5 more officers near a tunnel of the Capitol. Prosecutors had recommended a prison sentence of over 15 years and 8 months for Fitzsimons, calling him one of the most violent and aggressive participants in the riot. He has been in custody since February of 2021 and will be credited for time served.
Fox's Matt Napolitano. India is shooting for the moon, launching a rocket today to send a robot-controlled rover to the moon's south pole. It's scheduled to land August 23rd or 24th. India would be the 4th country to soft land a craft on the moon after the U.S., Soviet Union, and China. India tried and failed to land a rover on the moon 4 years ago. This mission is called Chandrayaan-3. Chandrayaan translates to moon vehicle in English. America's listening to Fox News.
65 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. The National Weather Service confirms at least 11 tornadoes touched down Wednesday evening, downing trees and power lines, damaging homes and businesses, but there have been no reports of any injuries. A body recovered from the Chicago River near the Salt Shed concert venue late Thursday evening. Chicago police say it was the body of a 63-year-old man. A 21-year-old employee was shot and killed by her boyfriend at a Mariano's in Evergreen Park Thursday morning, according to police.
We cautiously, approached and entered immediately based on the information that we had.
Investigators revealed later that law enforcement officials tracked down the suspected shooter because of a previous domestic incident.
We got the information of the possible suspect involved in this as her boyfriend with a description of his car and license plate.
Chicago police located the car and the suspect about 25 miles away in the Edgewater neighborhood. The list of 3 candidates for police superintendent in Chicago have been submitted for the mayor's approval. Here's AM 560's Nikki Whaley.
The list of possible candidates vying to be Chicago's next top cop is being narrowed down. The Sun-Times reports the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability have chosen 3 finalists. Those names are now going to be sent to Mayor Johnson, who will have 30 days to either choose one of them or reject them all and ask for another nationwide search. In the AM 560 The Answer newsroom, I'm Nikki Whaley.
And those names are CPD Chief of Counterterrorism Larry Snelling, the department's Chief of Constitutional Policing and Reform Angel Novales, and Madison, Wisconsin Chief Sean Barnes. A man is in custody after a canine officer was shot and killed in Gary, Indiana. Police say the shooting happened yesterday. The suspect shot 10-year-old Falco in the backyard near East 35th Court in Tennessee. Later, the suspected shooter was taken into custody. Northwestern has decided on who will run its football program in the interim for the upcoming season. Defensive coordinator David Braun. Wildcat baseball program announcing that their head coach Jim Foster has been fired after a poor season and an investigation into allegations of so-called abusive behavior. The Fire try to make it 3 wins in a row, and they host Toronto at Soldier Field tomorrow. The news service of the AM 560 store. Go to am560theanswer.com/store. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, August 24th at Klein Creek Golf Club in Winfield. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft and Sean Thompson for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar. That's 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by healthinsurancementors.com and by Blue Star Security.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
It's a big deal because your finances are a really big deal. Wintrust Community Banks would like to announce our newest and greatest 11-month CD rate with a whopping 5.35% APY. Act now and you can lock in 5.35%. Just go to wintrust.com/locknewrates and start earning more. Annual percentage yield accurate as of May 5th, 2023 and assumes funds remain on deposit until maturity. Minimum daily balance of 1 cent required to obtain APY. $1,000 minimum to open. New money only. Offer may change at any time and without notice. Member FDIC.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready for the next step, visit surroundchicago.com right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Visit surroundchicago.com today.
6:07, let's get an update on the roads in our Team Hochberg Traffic Center, a service of MyPillow. MyPillow employees want to thank you by giving you the lowest price in history on their MyPillows. Queen size MyPillows, regular price $69.98, now $19.98 with promo code LIBERTY. Inbound Kennedy 34 O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Stevenson at 35 from 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. 55 on the outbound side, southbound, jammed up due to road work, Veterans Parkway all the way to Weber Road. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Today, a blend of sun and clouds, shower and thunderstorm. High today, 88. Cloudy and humid. Shower and thunderstorm tonight, low 69. Sunny day tomorrow. Still could pick up a thunderstorm in spots. A high tomorrow afternoon, up to 83. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
It's 6:08. Time to visit signaturebank.bank and time to update those temperatures. 71 at O'Hare, 70 Midway, 64 in Lansing. And your Lake Michigan water temp this morning is 69. Your next news update is at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony from Black and Right Radio. Saturdays, 4 to 7 p.m. right here on AM 560. And you come into the studio, you take phone calls.
Yes.
And are you going to be here tomorrow?
I will not be here tomorrow.
Oh, why? Because you're here
Traveling
today.
to Springfield.
Oh, that's right. You're traveling to Springfield to open up a
free K-12 school, Christian conservative education.
What's the name of the school?
Uh,
the John Anthony Center?
No, it's. I don't believe we come up with a name yet, but it's through our Grace Association, where we're getting ready to build a trade school down in Shanahan, state of the art
Trade school. Well, that's smart.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to have auto shop in high school.
Yeah, we're gonna
Did you
be-
have auto
we're
shop
gonna have
and
that.
home ec
Well, I
and
went to
industrial
CVS.
arts? It was so fun. Oh, you went to CVS?
Yeah, I went to Chicago Vacation.
With Dip Buckus?
No,
Did-
Jawan Howard actually.
Juwan Howard was
Yeah.
there when you were there.
Nookie.
Yeah, but was he a nice guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He stopped me from getting my butt whooped.
Really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
From some GDs. GDs was getting ready to whoop me bad. And
Who was gonna what?
some gangster disciples were getting ready. A
Oh.
gang in Chicago.
Okay.
And they were getting ready to whip me, and he stepped in because I was on the baseball team, and he knew that, and he stepped in and stopped him.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
All right, so I gave you a homework assignment.
You did.
Mr. John Anthony. I told you to go see Sound of Freedom.
Ugh.
And in case you haven't, here's a clip, which is an important part, of the film.
How'd that make you feel? Giving a child his freedom. Felt good. You've been at this for 12 years. Why are you doing it? Because God's children are not for sale.
Because God's children are not for sale. All right, your review. And
Well,
if
that-
anybody else out there has seen it or experienced anything bizarre happening in the movie theater, like the air conditioning not working, like the fire alarm going off, which happened here in Texas.
So I've been seeing all over TikTok that people are going to watch the movie The Sound of Freedom, and these weird things are happening, like random emergency evacuations, the air conditioning not working and having to leave the theater. And I thought, no, that's probably just something that's happening in other theaters and other places. So I took me and my daughters to go watch The Sound of Freedom today, and about an hour and 20 minutes into the movie, we get a random emergency evacuation. None of the staff knows what's going on. The mall wasn't being evacuated, just the theater. All they did was refund us our money with no explanation. But I guess you can call me a conspiracy theorist.
You can hear the alarm going off.
Yeah.
Ding, ding. All right, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Without giving away too much,
Well, it's
probably one
based
of the
on the-
best movies I've ever seen.
I'm sorry. Let's try that again.
Yeah.
Can you please continue?
Yeah, it's probably was one of the best movies I've ever seen. I kept thinking about my daughters being put in that situation, and you know the one thing that this you remember Jesus talking about the 99 and the 1. He had saved all those kids, but it was the girl he wanted. He wanted to make sure he saved her, and I just kept seeing that scripture when Jesus was talking about going after the one. You know, going after that one. Even though you got all 99, he was so focused, laser focused on making sure that girl returned home.
And the movie was based on Tim Ballard, who was a Homeland Security agent. And so it's a true story, based on a true story on a mission to save children from human trafficking. And when they thought of that island, let's bring rich men to the island.
Yes.
It's so reminiscent of Jeffrey Epstein.
That's exactly what I said.
I mean, it's frightening.
Yeah.
And why can't we get the list of all the people that went to the island?
That's because there are too many important people on the list.
And do you know that did you stay for the whole movie?
I did.
You do not leave during the credits. You
Yeah.
have to stay for the whole.
When it gives all the background, the backdrop.
And the pay it forward,
Mhm.
and that it took 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years
Yeah.
to hit the silver screen.
Yeah. Yeah. And they also got so much more information from that island bus too. There was so much more information that they were able to go after other people through that bus. But, you know, for me, the rallying cry now is Timoteo. You know, Timoteo, the little
Tim
necklace.
Ballard, yep.
Timoteo.
Timoteo.
And it was just amazing how that kid had that around. I mean, I don't know if that was part of the made up part of the movie or not, but that Timoteo, I think that's the rallying cry that everybody should get behind to stop the scourge of sex trafficking, human trafficking.
So Tim Ballard is shredding CNN for slandering Sound of Freedom as a QAnon film because they had somebody on to talk about that. And he's fighting back.
I think of the children that are really depicted in that film. I know what happened to them. Those children were the subjects of child rape videos. Those children were being sold for sex. In total, you see over 120 kids actually are rescued in the story that's being depicted, even if the movie doesn't get into all of them. These are real kids. Yeah. I see them. I'm still friends with them. So it's embarrassing and frankly grotesque for this guy who knows nothing to start throwing out terms like QAnon and connecting it to a real story. I mean, they're not even thinking about it. So what are they thinking about?
So that 312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line. Did anybody leave the theater wanting to help out?
Yes.
Wanting to do more?
Yes. It was heartbreaking. And I think the more heartbreaking part was knowing the journey ahead for these kids of how do you repair somebody that's gone through what these kids went through? I mean, they were raped.
Right.
You know, I mean these old men, what do you see in a child that was you're sexually attracted to a child?
The only thing I can think of, maybe they were abused when they were kids. I don't know. I mean, and that film was so well casted.
It was.
Every single person was perfect. And since it took 5 years, the kids in that movie, they're grown up now.
Yeah. What's the old
they're
guy
adults.
with the hat? He was setting them free.
Justin, what was
I love his character too.
But he should win an Oscar.
Yes.
For best supporting actor.
Yes, I agree.
Definitely. So here's more from Tim Ballard.
That's how it feels to me. It feels like there's some other agenda, because why do this?
There's that one scene in the movie where it's an older man and he's picking out what little boy or what little girl he wants to take into, but I just can't even talk about it, but to take away. And we know what's going to happen to that child. Does that really happen, and how often does it happen?
Well, this is happening all the time. There are 6 million children, believe it or not, according to the Department of Labor, Department of State, who are stuck in slavery of one kind or another. Either it's sex, labor, or organ harvesting. I mean, organ harvesting, we've been taking down several organ harvesting rings where they take little babies and use them that way. And so we see everything, and the film depicts every kind, whether it's the lure, like you mentioned, that's a real person, that beauty queen who was recruiting kids as young as 9 years old. And
so when he brings up organ harvesting, then the left is like, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's the QAnon part of it.
Yeah.
And it's not.
No.
That's really happening.
No, it's not. It is happening. It is happening.
312-642-5600. Let's go to the phone lines. Tina and Joliet, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, my friend.
What's up, Troublemaker?
So I bought out an entire theater. I bought it's a 48-seat theater. There were 46 tickets available. I bought all of them, and I'm with Moms for America. So I brought a big group of people. We watched with not a peep during the entire movie. We watched. You could hear sniffling a little bit, but we stayed. We watched. We saw the final 3 minutes. It was a very moving, very, very. It was difficult to watch, but he managed it. He purposefully made it so that you could watch it, so that you wouldn't turn away. Because the truth and the reality of what happens to these children is so grotesque and repugnant that I couldn't, if it was depicted as close to reality as possible, I wouldn't have been able to sit through that movie. But he did it in a manner that made it so you would watch and that you would walk out of there wanting to help. And we actually have a gentleman with an organization coming in to speak with us. He's with a group called From Dark to Light, and he's going to come in and talk to Moms for America and give us ways that we can help fight trafficking. But that movie is a must-see.
Must-see.
And there are a lot of people who still have never heard of it.
Right.
So get
That's
the
true.
word out, there's a website, you can go to the Angel Network.
Yeah.
You can buy your tickets for half price.
All right.
So-
Now, Tina, I know you bought 46 tickets. Did 46 people show up?
Absolutely.
Good.
And I had people messaging me up to the day of the movie asking if they could get a ticket. And, they wanted to be part of the group and witness it together and be able to have that conversation together. and you can still see the movie. Find a theater near you. If you go on the website, it's super easy to use. Search by zip code, see what theater is playing it, buy your tickets for half price, and take a group.
Yeah.
Take a group. It's
Tina.
the most important movie of the year.
I agree.
All right, thanks so much,
It
Tina.
did take you on an emotional roller
Oh, yeah.
coaster.
I mean, I
you
had
were
to process
angry,
that
you were
movie.
you were sad, you were
Well, I was scared.
mortified.
It was a horror film, a
It was.
thriller, and a drama.
And a superhero movie, like you said. You said that. I would agree.
Superhero. Let's go to Sean and Darien. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I feel that the media is as sick, if not sicker, than the perps that created these sick acts. How they could even cover it up or even be coming up with this conspiracy theory is disgusting. How in this country, how in this world, is this not the number one frigging thing that we should be worried about and spending money on?
I know.
$160
Forget climate change
billion
right now.
year
Yep.
business.
Forget climate change.
I
Let's
mean,
work on that.
You think? Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
It's
Sean.
sickening.
Appreciate the
I'm sorry. Forget the Ukraine war. Let's fix what's the ills that's wrong with America. We have so many. 22 veteran suicides a day. We got sex trafficking, organ trafficking. We got a lot of problems right here. You want to call me an isolationist?
Homelessness.
Yes. You want to call me an isolationist? Go ahead. But we got to fix what's wrong here first before we can. I always say it. What is what are they called? Flight attendants now? What are they?
They're flight attendants.
Okay, flight
not
attendants.
stewardesses.
What's one of the first rules they give you as far as when the oxygen falls?
Put the mask on yourself before assisting
Why?
others.
Why do you think they tell you that?
Because you're in charge of your child and you've
Yeah.
got to control your child, but you're worthless if you're not
If you
in
don't
charge of yourself first.
If you don't get the oxygen yourself first, no matter what happens to the person next to you, you're no good. America's no good because we're trying to fix all the ills of the world when we're sick. Fix America. Maybe I'm too naive
No,
to think
you're
that.
not. No, I like your point. Kathleen in Avalon Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello, good morning,
Morning.
Amy. Good morning, John Anthony.
Good morning.
Wow, I have so many things to say, but that last thing you just said, John Anthony, that was on point.
Thank you.
America, we cannot be that beacon on a hill. We can't be great if we don't take care of our most vulnerable, and I mean from the Bible, children and the elderly.
Amen.
And what's happening now, first of all, let me back up real quick. I wasn't going to see the film, and it was probably because of what Tina, the previous caller, said. I just pretty much thought, okay, I know about this topic. Well, I don't want to see a movie about it. And I made a mistake. It's similar to the Matt Walsh film. I wasn't going to see that either. So I'm like, I've seen his clips on Twitter. I'm good. But I was wrong. I saw Matt Walsh's full film, and I needed to see that film because there was a lot that I did not know. And the same thing with Sound of Freedom. I needed to see this film. And I'm glad Amy tweeted it out that she had gone and she expressed her experience. And that pretty much was the catalyst that made me go. I went on Wednesday. I got my ticket for free from Angel Studios. So it's not half price. It's actually, they pay the full price, the full $16.
Wow. Good.
I saw it at AMC Ford City. The theater was packed.
Really?
Mind you, this was Wednesday.
Wait, Ford City?
When we had tornadoes.
Oh, that's right. You were in there during the.
Go ahead, John Anthony. What were you going to say?
You said Ford City?
Yeah, Ford City, right there on 76 and 6.
I know where it's at. I'm just shocked that it would be packed there. That's amazing.
Yes, it was packed. Very diverse audience. I would say mostly Hispanic and white. I was one of the few black people there.
Yeah.
But when I was looking for theaters, it was pretty much playing at all of the AMCs.
Yep.
And so that was really encouraging. We had no issues whatsoever. Air conditioning was fine. Theater was totally comfortable. And the place was silent. People were into the movie. And I think that's what makes it such a brilliant thing, is that it's tolerable. Even though the topic is intolerable, the movie makes it tolerable. And so anyone who's queasy about issues of trafficking or anything of that nature, don't let it keep you from seeing the movie. I won't take too long, but I just want to quickly say, please, as Amy said, stay through the end. And it's absolutely unbelievable that this film was made 5 years ago and it's finally got released this year. But the good news is word is getting out there. And we as a nation, kudos to the team, Jim Caviezel and Monteverde, I think was his name, the director. But it's a testament to the power of prayer and perseverance. And we as a nation, those of us of faith, we've got to pray for those on the front lines. This trafficking nightmare, it's heartbreaking, but this movie is hopeful. The people out there who are working to save the children, like the boy and the girl featured in the film, and the other hundreds out there, thousands out there, millions out there we don't even know about. These people who are on the front lines, they're dealing with evil head on, pure evil face to face. And we can't allow the CNNs of the world to try to get the masses to say, oh, we're not going to see that because it's QAnon or whatever other commentary they want to give.
They're trying to tie it to Pizzagate.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, give me a break. Yeah. All right, Kathleen, thank you so much for the phone call. We just want to get into a few more calls.
That was amazing analysis of the movie.
I know. Well, she's
great analysis
smart.
of that movie,
That's why
Kathleen.
we love her. Glenn in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I haven't seen the movie yet, but this child trafficking business has been going on for a long, long time. And what really hit me was reading the article that the California Democrats blocked a bill to make child trafficking a serious felony.
Yeah.
I know.
So maybe we have our people in powers of position to find this activity acceptable, and that is really bad.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn, for the phone call. And real quick, the actor's name is Bill Camp.
Yeah, that's
and
him. I love him.
He needs to win
He was amazing.
the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
He was.
And if he doesn't even get nominated, I'll be out of my. He made that movie. He was
I'd be shocked.
So good.
If this movie gets any nominations.
Really?
Yeah, this is one of those boycott movies.
Good.
It's outpacing
Because
Indiana
they didn't
Jones.
do it. I know. And the Temple of Doom 5.
Which was a horrible movie. I saw
Horrible.
that.
You saw Indiana Jones?
Yeah, it was not good.
Before you
It
saw
was
Sound
not-
of
I
Freedom?
did.
I'm going to check
It was
your
not good.
passport.
I know. It was not good.
You American. Jack in Shorewood, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hi. Hey, the comment I want to make is for those that are really downplaying this movie and that are calling for QAnon and all that, you have to ask yourself, who are you protecting? I mean, we all know that this child trafficking exists. Are you protecting the children or are you protecting the predators?
Speak.
That's a good.
You know, I mean, that's it. You know, without realizing it, these people they're making a stand for predators, for crime, for hurting children. You know what I mean?
I feel like we in church this morning.
Yeah.
Pass the collection plate.
I mean, all they're trying to be is against the other side, and what they're against is they're against children. I mean, if they just listen to themselves, you know, this
Or
is
if one of their
allegedly-
kids was victimized, maybe they changed their
Yeah.
minds. But in Hollywood,
Yeah,
it makes so
exactly.
much-
That's exactly right. If it was your kid that this happened to, you'd say just how real this is.
Yeah.
You would be preaching just how real child predators are. And now you're on the other side saying, "Oh no, it's false," and people are making this up, and there's an agenda, and everyone should be just rushing. As you said earlier, this should be the number one topic. Is this child trafficking? It's only the tip of the iceberg, as we saw with Weinstein, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you kind of hinted at it. You know, all the names on the island, those are the people you're protecting.
I know.
And you're sacrificing children to protect people that are trying to hide themselves from the crimes they've committed.
Yeah, and that's why, I don't believe that Jeffrey Epstein committed
No,
suicide.
no.
Because, the camera, the surveillance camera just wasn't working at that time.
Yeah, come on.
More cover-ups.
You got to have Sam on.
Okay, I'll have Sam.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Carol Platt-Liebau for townhall.com.
The open borders policy pursued in fact, if not in law, by the Biden administration has created far greater dangers from illegal immigration than America's ever confronted before. Aside from the substantial challenges posed by the Mexican drug cartels, America is seeing migration from far distant countries. Most concerning, there's been an increase of more than 1,000% of migrants from countries including China and Afghanistan, and many of the immigrants are young men of military age. It's not easy to reach the United States from either country, and given the oversight and control China in particular exercises over its citizens, it's a safe bet they're coming here with their government's blessing. So why is China, our key adversary on the world stage today, now sending their young men across our borders? And the better question is, why is our government permitting them to do so?
I'm Dave Nissen, CEO of PKF Mueller. As a CPA firm, we have been serving our business clients since 1968 by providing audit, accounting, tax, advisory, and consulting services. We as trusted advisors go beyond what our clients hired us to do by thinking outside the box to understand their operations and industry. We want to discover ways to increase their net income and cash flow by reducing costs or increasing efficiencies. To this end, PKF Mueller provides several client value-added services through strategic relationships. Our partners are specialists and serve the same type of clients that we do and add value by reducing our clients' overall electric and gas costs, discovering inaccuracies and overcharges on utility bills, assisting in financing of real estate, and helping to reduce uncollectible accounts and bad debt expenses. To learn more about our value-added service providers and how we can assist, call me directly at 630-524-5274 or dnissen@pkfmueller.com.
Cher fans, do you believe? Make your dreams come true when Tribute Artist of the Year nominee Lisa McClowry takes the stage as Cher to sing 2 great nights with her band. Saturday, July 29th at the Des Plaines Theater and Sunday, July 30th at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles. Celebrate 6 decades of Cher in an amazing live music and multimedia production. The Beat Goes On, featuring all the songs you know and love. Plus the inside stories about Cher's life and career. And don't forget those incredible costumes. The Beat Goes On from Legends and concert star Lisa McClowry, who sings and talks and moves so much like Cher, you'll swear you're watching Cher herself. The Beat Goes On, Saturday, July 29th at 7:30 at the Des Plaines Theater and Sunday, July 30th at 5 p.m. at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles. Get your tickets now at beatgoesonshow.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, you want to tell us about an endeavor you're involved in?
Well, you know, I started a website, well, you told me not to say blackandrightradio.com. I actually made a t-shirt.
Blackandrightradio.com.
Blackandrightradio.com. I actually made a t-shirt, God's Children Are Not For Sale, Timoteo.
Great, so go to
blackandrightradio.com and purchase any of the merch that's there.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Supermoms Activated, and Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius. Maybe this will get their sales numbers back up. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
69 degrees at 6:33. The Secret Service says it's unable to connect anyone with the cocaine that was discovered in the White House, and it's closing its investigation. Republican Representative Chip Roy of Texas says he's frustrated by the outcome and says it could have been a lot worse.
It was like, we got to make sure this isn't anthrax. Well, what if it had been anthrax? I guess the Secret Service would have just said, oh, sorry. I don't know who had anthrax in the White House. The most secure location on the planet. Are you out of your mind?
Secret Service officer spotted the plastic baggie on July 2nd. There's still no sign of escaped Pennsylvania inmate Michael Burham after a week-long hunt. Officials say the murder suspect, who is said to have survivalist skills, broke out of a Pennsylvania jail last week. India trying to become the 4th country to execute a controlled landing on the moon, launching a rocket overnight from a site off the country's east coast. Only 3 other countries have achieved the complicated feat of soft landing a spacecraft on the moon's surface: the U.S., Russia, and China. The National Weather Service confirms at least 11 tornadoes touching down Wednesday evening, downing trees, power lines, damaging homes and businesses. A body recovered from the Chicago River near the Salt Shed concert venue Thursday evening, a 63-year-old man. A 16-year-old swimmer from Springfield says the YMCA there dismissed her concerns of changing in the women's locker room with biological males present and then ejected her from the swim team. Abigail Wheeler spoke with reporters yesterday. Christina Newton, a transgender member of the YMCA, believes they and another person were possibly the individuals Wheeler is concerned with.
We was both in our swimsuits, about ready to head to the pool, and we was just talking about my surgeries. That's it. We wasn't showing people our private stuff.
Father of Christine Wheeler says that really isn't the issue.
It's not whether a biological male is naked, whether a biological male is leering, whether a biological male has a camera out. It's the fact that there's a biological male in the girls' locker room.
The YMCA argues Abigail was not banned from the facility in their opinion, and the father withdrew her and their family's membership. The Illinois Freedom Caucus is taking up the issue. So sometimes politics is funny. And from our political vault this week, on the primary campaign trail, President Trump campaigning in a full Dairy Queen in Iowa.
Everybody wants a blizzard. What the hell is a blizzard? What is a blizzard? And take care of some people, okay? Will you take care of them for me? I will do the blizzard thing, all right?
The good news is former President Trump paid for all the blizzards for a crowded Dairy Queen in Iowa, but it's still kind of unbelievable that he doesn't know what a blizzard is. Cubs open up the second half of the 2023 season with a game against the Red Sox at Wrigley. White Sox will try to start a second-half surge when they visit the Braves in Atlanta. The news, the service of MyPillow. Big news. MyPillow employees want to thank you by giving you the lowest price on their MyPillows. Queen-size MyPillows regular price, $69.98, now only $19.98 with promo code LIBERTY. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Brandon Tatum is fired up.
You are a complete fool, and I would argue a complete coward, if you do not at least acknowledge and admire what was done to gain our independence. You are a complete coward if you decide that it's not worth celebrating 1776 and our independence.
The Officer Tatum Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I ran this by my doctor. I always run it by her, everything I take, and I told her I've been taking this for a while. Is this okay to take? She goes, oh, this is wonderful for you to take. Keep taking it. She goes, I approve this. This is very good. So she said, yes. She said, this is one thing you can take that's very good. I'm not going to stop taking Balance of Nature.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code Prager.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
6:39, let's get an update on the roads in the Team Hochberg Traffic Center, a service of Dell Technologies. The Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event starts now. Savings on select PCs. Get deals on select accessories and free shipping on everything. Save now by calling 877-ASK-DELL. Kennedy inbound jam solid central to Montrose, 40 minutes in to the Burns Circle interchange. The Ike jams up solid North Avenue to the Tri-State, fairly typical for this time of day. 39, 390 into the old post office. Stevenson in solid First Avenue to Kedzie, 49 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Tri-State jamming northbound between the Reagan and the outbound Ike merge. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. A blend of sun and clouds with a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm around the 5 to 6 o'clock spot this afternoon. High 88. 71 right now. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Carol Platt-Liebau for townhall.com. The open borders policy pursued in fact, if not in law, by the Biden administration has created far greater dangers from illegal immigration than America's ever confronted before. Aside from the substantial challenges posed by the Mexican drug cartels, America is seeing migration from far distant countries. Most concerning, there's been an increase of more than 1,000% of migrants from countries including China and Afghanistan, and many of the immigrants are young men of military age. It's not easy to reach the United States from either country, and given the oversight and control China in particular exercises over its citizens, it's a safe bet they're coming here with their government's blessing. So why is China, our key adversary on the world stage today, now sending their young men across our borders? And the better question is, why is our government permitting them to do so?
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560 The Answer.
Left foot, right foot. All right, good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft. You know, during the break, Justin and I always do like COVID reviews and breakdown. I was telling him that I was travel shamed.
Uh-oh.
When I went to Utah, and then I just decided to stay because why come back here? But when I did have to come back here, the ticket agent was, and I don't want to say what airline because I love this airline, but I had a bad moment with one employee.
Yeah.
And she said, our nation is undergoing tremendous uncertainty right now. You should not be traveling.
Oh.
And there's nobody in the plane except for me and my two kids and then a mom and a baby and then some random dude.
Yeah.
On a 787.
Because it didn't affect her job, right?
Well, I mean, please. People did a lot of things during that time, those 3 years of hell, I'd like to call it. But one good thing that happened is people came out. Mothers united. And that's with that, we welcome to the program Jacqueline Toberoff. She's author of Supermoms Activated, and she has an article on foxnews.com about her journey into being a conservative living in liberal New York. Good morning, Jacqueline. How are you?
I'm fine, and thank you so much for having me. I apologize to your listeners. I have a small touch of laryngitis, but I'm good.
Okay, well, you sound good, so we'll keep on keeping on until you tell us otherwise. So tell us why you wrote this book, and what was it, the COVID and the restrictions during COVID that motivated you to do it?
Yeah, you know, I would say there was a time stamp between 2020 and 2022. 2020 was the beginning of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, as well as BLM, which brought in CRT. And 2022 were the primaries. And between these 2 years, it was already clear concerned parents were being labeled domestic terrorists. And the Biden administration, as well as the teachers union, were looking to rewrite and erase history. And I was determined to preserve these voices as a timestamp for what I think is just the pivotal change in America.
And so you featured 12 different moms, or what's the book about? Super Moms
Correct.
Activated.
So, Super Moms Activated, 12 profiles of hero moms leading the American revival, features 12 super mom warriors. One is Tina Descovich. She is co-founder of Moms for Liberty that has been responsible for transforming school boards into pro-parental right majorities. Another one is Callie Fontanilla. She's a former public school teacher who exposed the implicit CRT curriculum within public schools. It is crazy to hear her stories, and specifically the stories of her students when they were faced with the CRT. Then there is actress Samara Armstrong, who ran for mayor of Arizona. While she lost, she is responsible for helping to lift the mask mandate in Arizona. There's also Astra Namani, who has a case before the Supreme Court, and if she wins, it will set precedent to disallow race from being part of the admissions in K through 12. If you remember, Harvard just lost the case against affirmative action in its admissions policy. So I have 12 moms. Another is Sarah Gonzalez. She's a host on Blaze TV. She was one of the first. She went viral on Tucker Carlson for exposing the all-age drag shows geared towards children. So powerhouses are within.
Yeah. So this is more about than just COVID, right?
Oh, 100%. This is about parental rights. This is about attacking woke from various angles. And more importantly, these 12 women provide the blueprint for every single mother and taxpayer, because we all fund this educational complex. We all fund the illegals. We all fund the open borders. We all fund our demise. This is for any super mom or super dad or super grandmother that has had it, that does not recognize his or her country and recognizes that the American revival is underway, and these 12 moms have lit the match that has turned on the prairie fire.
Wow. Ms. Tabaroff, what do you say to that mom? Because I talk to a lot of moms who are afraid to speak out because of the onslaught of attacks that they know will happen once they speak out. What encouraging words would you say to that mother who is upset with what's happening but is afraid to speak out because she's in fear?
This is the best question, because everyone that speaks to me about this is in fear. They don't know what to do. And all I can say to you is this: there are more of us than there are of them. And what is holding us back is this perception that we're going to be doxxed, lose our job. Yes, that might happen. But the truth of the matter is, the longer we do nothing, the longer that horror show continues. Critical mass is vital here. And if we all rise up, they can't arrest us all. They can't label us all domestic terrorists. There are more of us than them, and there is more at stake now than ever. It's our children.
And you are a conservative in liberal New York City, correct? Or have you moved like many others? And have you lost any friends over this?
You know what? I have always been a conservative. I have not lost one friend. I would say the majority of my friends are Democrats because I live in Manhattan. I have not lost one friend. This is another myth they use to chain us down. Many of my friends who are Democrats, they're not that wacko element. You know, they might be a little bit more pro-environment or, pro-climate or this stuff, which I differ with them on, but they're not wackos. They still value safety. They still value solid core education based on merit. And the truth is, when I helped organize Moms for Lee before Lee Zeldin lost when he was running for governor against Hochul, the coalition that I put together was predominantly independent and Democrat moms. They had had enough. And just like the conservative moms in New York City or any blue city, they're not sacrificing their kids. They're not on board with sexual exploitation of their children. They're not on board with lowering the standards or with any of this stuff.
Gosh, I know. And then the whole drag queen and bingo, we were going to have, drag queen bingo at a library in a suburban facility here. How did that transfer? Who in the world thought that was a good idea? or is that just a way of indoctrination?
No one thinks it's a good idea. I will tell you two things. This is breaking news. I was on War Room last night, and I covered this, and I started discussing it briefly on Fox. There are two things that are happening right now that your listeners should be aware of. New York State Department of Education has made gender affirmation the focus for this coming school year, this September. This starts age 2.5, 2.5-year-olds and up. It will affect every color, every race, every gender, public school, private school, independent school. No one will be left behind. They are going to help kids transition, and they will help kids conceal it from their parents, and they will encourage the kids that are transitioning to rely on a trusted adult. What you should know, and any of your listeners should know that are not living in New York State, is you are not exempt. The largest teachers union in America is making required summer reading a book called Gender Queer. The trusted adults priming these kids will be hopped up on Gender Queer. This is as 2/3 of our nation's children are not fourth grade level proficient in reading and math. This is a travesty, and the panacea, the remedy to this, is my book, Supermoms Activated. Wow. It will arm you with everything you need to know for this coming September and how to push back.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing in Chicago public schools.
Yeah.
That you don't need your parents' permission.
Yeah, I think
if you're 12 and up.
Yeah, I think Dennis Prager said it best. They're over sexualizing kids and desexualizing adults. That's basically what you have happening here.
So, Jacqueline,
I just got chills. Yeah.
I know. The book, I can't wait. I'm going to buy this book. Yeah. I'm going to read this. It's called Supermoms Activated. Jacqueline Toberoff is the author. Thank you so much for coming on, and we really appreciate your time and efforts for this fight.
I appreciate you both. Thank you so much.
And I hope your voice gets better, but you sounded fine. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Your show keeps me alive during the week. There's nobody I'd rather listen to between 5 and 9 in the morning than you guys.
On AM 560, The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. Your business and your money are in good hands with Signature Bank. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dan Migatz, co-owner and CFO of AM Woodland Outdoor Design in Mundelein, and a new customer of Signature Bank. We specialize in the creative design and construction of outdoor living spaces, providing our residential and commercial customers first-in-class landscaping services. Our company was founded as a one-man operation, and today has grown into a multifaceted, one-stop shop for outdoor and indoor design and contracting needs. Signature Bank was there to provide the capital needed to grow our expansion efforts. We wanted to work with a bank that understands our business and is relationship focused. Signature Bank is what a relationship bank is all about. We're excited to continue our partnership for many years to come.
Signature Bank helps local businesses succeed. Let Signature Bank turn your business vision into reality. Visit signaturebank.bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Yeah, so we just Googled Jacqueline Toberoff, and she's gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
Whew.
Yeah.
And smart. I
Yes.
like that. All right, guess what? It's going to rain again today. How's your basement doing? How's your crawl space? Any seepage? Well, if so, now is the time to call our good friends at Permaseal. Permaseal. That would be Permaseal. Excuse
Push
me.
it out today, Junior.
For over 41 years, Permaseal has been Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana's most trusted contractor for basement and foundation repairs. They have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and a 4.9-star Google rating. I don't know what their Uber rating is, but I'm sure it's going to be great. But for a free, thorough inspection, and if you have any problems with sump pumps or backup sump pumps, Permaseal is the company to call. 800-421-SEAL, 800-421-7325, or visit permaseal.net.
Experts are saying the biggest economic implosion is coming. Where's your money right now? In real estate, the stock market, or heaven forbid, a bank? Those in the know are calling Swiss America, a leader in precious metals for over 40 years. Your financial advisor says metals don't earn interest. You'll never beat inflation without taking huge risks. And advisors hate precious metals because they can't make money off it. With your money safely stashed in precious metals, you can insulate yourself from the coming crash. To help get you started, Swiss America is offering offering beautiful U.S. silver walking Liberty half dollars at the amazingly low price of just $13.50 each. Delivered. Limit 250 coins per customer while supplies last. To take advantage of this deal, call or text 800-630-1495. That's silver walking Liberty half dollars for just $13.50 each, delivered to your door while supplies last. Help protect your assets today. Call or text 800-630-1495. That's 800-630-1495. Message and data rates may apply.
All right, for years now, you've heard about Turnkey offering more than just managed IT services. Now they've stepped up to offer even more business solutions to help you navigate the day-to-day hurdles and help you grow. Do you have long-term strategies such as identifying new revenue streams? Want to grow your customer base? Turnkey can help. Maybe it's a short-term problem like an employee leaving abruptly or filling positions you've had open for months. You might need a shift supervisor, a part-time CFO, a IT guy. Turnkey can help. Whether it's a seasonal problem or a long-term need, Turnkey's consulting staff has years of experience in nearly every business function. And for a limited time, Turnkey will provide a free consultation to look at your situation and see what it would take to resolve it. The pros at Turnkey share your values. They're Chicagoland small business champions. Visit turnkey.pro today to book your appointment. Turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I have more energy. I am moving. I am on my feet. I went from taking maximum on a very good day, 3,000 steps. Today, 3,000, 4,000 steps is my minimum. I'm up to 5, 6, 7, 8,000 steps a day.
I have 4 children and 8 grandchildren. They're amazed by my ability to be so energetic and do things. I'm still doing things that I did when I was 25 years old, and I'm 66 years old now. This product is amazing.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. So Bud Light, they're trying to, they're treading water in the deep end with a 20-pound weight wrapped around their ankles, just losing millions of dollars. They've lost billions so far. They have, remember the Real Men of Genius commercials?
Yeah.
Okay, well, see if this one will get you back to buying Bud Light or Busch Light or Stella.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Really, Really Bad Transgender.
Mr. Really, really bad transgender.
We have to listen to your claims that you're a real woman, but you couldn't even be bothered to get a doctor to cut your Johnson off.
Oh my.
Call me a doctor.
You rose to fame after destroying several corporate brands, leading some to wonder, is this guy for real, or is this just a desperate cry for attention?
Oh, we don't care.
But no matter how they feel, love you or hate you, they have to respect the grift.
You're a star.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Tranny Man, because you really put the pro in pronouns.
Mr. Really, really bad transgender.
Is that Justin singing?
I think that's hysterical. Do you think it's funny, Mike, Scott? Do you think that's funny?
Sounds like Justin.
It's clever. Yeah. It's very clever, and it sounds like the real guy, from the commercials back in the day.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today
Simpler
we
times.
salute you, Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Last
never
night,
happens.
you had the enchilada combo platter. This morning, the 3-cheese omelet with broccoli. This afternoon, you're a ticking time bomb.
I love that one. Tick, tick, tick. So, yeah, no, of course, that's a spoof, the Bud Light. But, they need to do something. It's tanking.
I saw it for 99 cents.
You saw Bud-
A case was for they were selling it for 99 cents. Come on, man, $3.99.
Yeah, it's bad. But I still I can't buy it, which is so goofy.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge beer drinker.
I don't either.
Or am I?
Yeah.
I like Yuengling. What's that stuff called? Yuengling.
Out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because when I went to visit my son at Georgia Tech, they had a Yuengling Christmas tree.
I don't think you can get it here in Illinois yet.
No,
you can
Indiana.
just Indiana and now Missouri, but not here yet.
All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, why some people want one alderman to resign or be censured. We'll explain. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Although I do know a beer smuggler that can probably get it to us within 24 hours.
Okay.
Yuengling or even Spotted Cow, for that matter. We are watching a National Weather Service investigation into those tornadoes that hit the Chicago area. How many actually touched down? And a search firm names 3 finalists for Top Cop in Chicago. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Ukraine, abortion, and transgender troops. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Some of the sticking points jeopardizing passage of a defense spending bill. Some Republicans wanted an amendment taking out military funding for Ukraine. Other amendments mean no support from Democrats.
The House has approved amendments to the annual defense bill that would end the Pentagon's abortion policy that provides reimbursement for women who cross state lines, and another that bars the use of the DoD's health program for gender reassignment surgery. Democrats call the measures a distraction, and some Republicans agree. Republican Nancy Mace warns not only could these amendments put the bill at risk, it could cost the GOP in the next election, telling Fox News at Night.
For my colleagues that are forcing some of these votes and some of these amendments, it makes it very difficult for us to hold on to the majority.
Even if the House is able to pass the bill on a strictly party-line vote, it faces a tough road in the democratically controlled Senate. In Washington, John Lanchel, Fox News.
As hot as it's been in parts of the country, it's going to get even hotter in places like Las Vegas.
On Sunday, we're expecting to go to a high of at least 117, potentially 118 degrees. If we hit 118, that would be a new record high for Las Vegas.
Fox weather correspondent Max Gordon. TV and movie actors are on strike.
Every film and TV studio effectively shut down now that the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, has joined writers in striking. The main issues for the actors are the same as they are for writers. They want a better and guaranteed share of income from the streaming of movies and shows, and they want guarantees over how AI might be used in future productions.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Los Angeles studios call the revenue demands unrealistic. The Education Department announces student loan forgiveness for more than 800,000 borrowers through what it calls a fix to income-driven repayment plans. The Supreme Court last month shot down President Biden's plan to just wipe out some student loan debt. America's listening to Fox News.
.69 degrees, 7:02 is our time on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. The National Weather Service does confirm this morning that at least 11 tornadoes touched down Wednesday evening, downing trees and power lines in places like Huntley, Elgin, Barrington, Long Grove, Des Plaines, Glendale Heights, and McCook and Indian Head Park. No reports of injuries. A body recovered from the Chicago River near the Salt Shed concert venue Thursday evening around 7 p.m. The body recovered identified as that of a 63-year-old man. The list of candidates for police superintendent of Chicago have been submitted for the mayor's approval.
We are looking for a generational leader, and we believe that we have found 3.
The Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability chose CPD's Chief of Counterterrorism, Larry Snelling, the department's Chief of Constitutional Policing, Angel Novales, and Madison, Wisconsin Police Chief Sean Barnes. A man is in custody after a canine officer was shot and killed in Gary, Indiana. The shooting happened yesterday during a foot chase. The suspect shot 10-year-old Falco in the backyard near East 35th Court and Tennessee Street. The dog's handler tried to pull the suspect over. The suspect was wanted for aggravated battery and criminal recklessness. Bulls are getting some financial help from the NBA. The website The Athletic is reporting Chicago was granted a $10.2 million disabled player exception for the loss of Lonzo Ball. Northwestern has decided on David Braun as their interim head coach for the program and has fired baseball coach Jim Foster. Cubs open up the second half of the 2023 season tonight with a game against the Red Sox at Wrigley, the White Sox visiting the Braves in Atlanta. The news a service of Woodland Windows and Doors. Marvin replacement windows and doors can bring your backyard right into your living space. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your consultation. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, August 24th at Klein Creek Golf Club in Winfield. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft and Sean Thompson for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar. That's 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by healthinsurancementors.com and by Blue Star Security.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
Attention, your money is now controlled by the U.S. government.
Picture a world where your every purchase is monitored, tracked, and controlled by those in power to suppress the freedoms of those they see fit. My name is Jason Hansen. I become very focused on the impending rollout of the central bank digital currency. I've partnered with Advantage Gold to offer you a solution. Claim your free gold protection kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads. We do that, of course, in the Team Hochberg Traffic Center. 41 minutes on the inbound Kennedy from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. The Eichen, 44 minutes, 390 to the old post office. Stevenson inbound, 37 from 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. DuSable Lakeshore Drive itself slow on the ramp to the outbound Ike this morning. And a vehicle fire on I-80, a semi with a brake fire, causing some big delays this morning eastbound on 80 right at Briggs. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Today, a blend of sun and cloud, shower and thunderstorm, high 88. Cloudy, humid, shower and thunderstorm tonight, low 69. Mostly sunny, a thunderstorm for tomorrow, the high 83. Partly sunny, breezy on Sunday, the high again 83. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
70 at O'Hare, 72 Lakefront, 70 at Midway, and your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560 The Answer.
Good Friday morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft, and we have a storm a brewing. I don't know if you saw this, but a few weeks ago, Alderman Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez, she decided to take a poll on Twitter on how to honor the Italian-American community. The choices were, well, the question, what's the best way to honor Italian heritage? The choices included 1, Italian ice monument, Bialetti monument, coffee maker, or the Columbus statue, which I thought that thing was coming back up, but it's still in storage somewhere. We don't know where.
Wow.
But somebody also tweeted out we should beef juice, and she liked that tweet. So the Italian-American community, not too happy. Ron Anesi, Italian-American Joint Civic Commission.
It was really tasteless, classless, harmful, and racist. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
And now some critics want her to resign or get censured.
We can't believe a leader of our city council, doesn't matter what party or what format or platform she's from, we can't believe she would perpetuate this.
Alderman Nick Spazzato, good friend of the show.
She's doubling down. She has no intention of apologizing.
But should she, do you think she should resign or get censured over this? He's more on the C-word side.
I think resign's a little bit strong. I think she should be censored, and I think her committee should be taken away from her.
So with more on this, and, the weekend's here. Thank goodness it's raining out because that might keep crime down, right? That's so sad how we all, that's how we work around here. Let's welcome back to the program 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez. Good morning, Mr. Lopez. How are you?
Good morning, Amy and John. How are you today?
Sir. Go. So, do you want to sound in, or what would you do? What do you think is going to happen or should happen to Alderwoman Rodriguez Sanchez?
Well, first off, the person in charge of Health and Human Relations is the one spouting off racist tropes at the Italian community. So I think since the mayor picked her, the mayor himself shouldn't get a free pass either. He needs to tell her to step aside from that committee because clearly she has lost her moral authority to be the head of the body in city council that's aimed at bringing people together. It'd be like tantamount to having a KKK member in charge of the reparations committee.
Yep, that's true. I mean, she said, in her defense, she said it was a lighthearted tweet, was spun into a narrative of disrespect. I was meant to be playful, not offensive, and she's not. Now she's playing the victim and says she's received hateful and racist messages in response. But she started this. Why would a grown adult do this?
Amy, two things. One, I don't know. I'm not sure how much of a grown adult she is, having worked with her, and I've seen how she walks in and acts and disrespects the body. But two, everyone who's been caught trying to dehumanize another one always returns to the common argument, oh, I was just kidding. It's a joke. Take it easy. And I'm sure, when people are using sexist stereotypes, oh, just take it easy. No, you shouldn't have to take it easy. This is from the same people who tell everyone else that they can't take it easy. So if you're going to live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword.
And she's the one who supported Mayor Lightfoot in taking down the Columbus statue, and she does not recognize Columbus Day. It's an Indigenous Peoples Day, so we know where her loyalties lie. But how long has she been on the city council? She's fairly new, isn't she?
She's just beginning her second term, so she's been there for a little over 4 years now.
Okay. And where is the Columbus statue? Or there's two of them. Are they still in some hidden secret location?
They are in the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom Arc. Bear Drive.
Well, are they ever going to come back up? I mean, they were told. You're cracking John Anthony up, by the way.
That was perfect.
That is. Weren't they supposed to be re-erected at some point in time?
I think that was the discussion that Lightfoot was trying to have, and, she had many disagreements with the Joint Civic Committee and others on what to do with it. It became a battle of penis sizes, as you will recall, with the previous mayor. But, either you start taking them all down or just put them all up and let people learn the true history. But you can't start editing history because you don't like it or you're offended or it insults your narrative of the day.
Right on. All right, so now there's another pressing issue with all the migrants that have come up from Mexico, from Texas. They're being bused here from Texas and Arizona. Now they're starting to affect our volleyball team because our kids play at the Armory on every Friday night, and my other friend has a gay volleyball league that they play on Sundays, and they want to bring migrants to the Broadway Armory. Is there any way to stop this, or is this a done deal?
Well, the problem, Amy, is, and in full transparency, I worked with the new administration, Brandon Johnson's team, to open up the Gage Park Fieldhouse as a temporary processing, transition center for the migrants as they were coming, in the hopes of clearing out all of those individuals in our police stations. So I understand how difficult a conversation this could be with community, but I don't see any change anytime soon because the migrants keep coming. In the time frame that I announced transitioning Gage Park into this type of facility, 800 more individuals arrived in the city of Chicago. So it was designed to clear out the police stations. You can't even tell at this point that I even did anything, even though I'm still housing 250 of them at Gage Park. There's still 800 now in the police stations throughout the city of Chicago.
Even
So
after
we
the
need-
incident that happened at the 10th District?
Yes.
And for people that aren't aware, apparently, and I don't know how many officers, if you do, please help me out here, but police officers were having sex with some of the migrants, and they
it's
got a teenage girl pregnant.
It's alleged.
It's alleged. Okay.
Well, it's alleged. It's alleged that there was some behavior going on, and if those officers were stupid enough to engage in that kind of activity, they should be dealt with.
I agree.
But yes, there are individuals in police stations all across Chicago, 800 total as of I think the other day, and the population continues to grow. The buses keep coming to the city of Chicago, and I think what all of us need to do, as opposed to trying to focus on these short-term fixes on do we send them to the Armory, do we send them to this empty school or this location, is we need to tell Joe Biden, Dick Durbin, Tammy Duckworth, and the entire delegation to get off their rear ends and start push for immediate field courts to discuss the merits of amnesty applications for these individuals. And if they are founded, great. And if they're not, ship them back, because we cannot wait 6 years for this to resolve itself, which is what the next court date for many of these individuals is.
Yeah.
6 years?
Yeah. It's amazing. That older woman, she's a Democrat Socialist of America member.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't understand that. but
Flaming progressive.
That's neither here nor there. Alderman, listen, public safety is very important to me. I was reading through the blueprint for creating a more just and vibrant city for all that the mayor introduced.
It's a good beach read.
Yeah, it is.
223 pages.
223
yeah.
pages. I actually read through it.
Good.
Because
You did? Oh, great.
yeah, I did. I actually used to read bills too when I was state rep. That's novel. But some of the things that was in there, the one that really stood out to me was the getting rid of the gang database. I was a gang officer when I was a cop. I was a juvenile officer when I was a cop. Who on his staff thought this to be a great idea? Now, I do believe, I've said this, that the gang database does need to be tweaked. I'm all for.
Well, how do you, as a police officer, tell us how it was advantageous to you?
So basically, soon as you run an individual's information, it shows what gang they were related to, because you never know who you're dealing with when you're pulling up somebody on the street. So you knew their known associates, because anytime you stopped somebody in a car and they were with known gang members, you started to piece together who's friends with who. Now, I do believe that it needs some tweaks. Like, I don't believe somebody should be a part of that for the rest of their life, especially if they change their life. Call me bleeding heart liberal when it comes to that, but they shouldn't be a part of a gang database for the rest of their lives. But who thought this to be a good idea?
That is something that many of the extreme left elements of the city council have been pushing, and they convinced Lori Lightfoot that this was appropriate. And she said that she was getting rid of the gang database a few years ago, but she tweaked it. But now they want a full-on push to get rid of it. And you're 100% correct. If people reform themselves or have been out of that culture for 5 years, then they should have an avenue in which to have their names removed and taken off.
Right.
But if you're going to dismantle the tool that identifies most of those neighborhood terrorists running around the community, you are putting everyone's lives in jeopardy. Yes. And I don't know where this is being pushed from, but I do know that there's value to a list that is compact, that is editable, and that is based on true facts of what our officers are being able to report. But all of that is going to be in jeopardy either way with the new consent decree that mandates that you can't go up to people, you can't chase people, you can't arrest people, you can't do all the can't do's. Basically, are going to make that list even more in question now, and you're going to have officers and community going blindly into situations where the former known elements get to have cover and camouflage and put the law-abiding citizens of Chicago at risk. And take that from someone who lives in the middle of one of the gang hotspots in Chicago. I know the value of this list, and this is something that, as I like to say, the black and brown face to the white lie keeps trying to perpetuate in the city of Chicago, that somehow this list does more harm than good.
Right.
When in reality, for those of us who live in communities like Back of the Yards, for example, which has historic gang conflicts, you need to be able to identify who your targets, who your enemies are in the neighborhood.
And Alderman, I think they fail to realize, even when you respond to a home, like when I used to respond to homes, I would talk to my dispatcher and say, what are the priors on this residence? Well, guess what showed up? The gang contact hit. If there's a gang, if a police officer had a contact with that person at a particular home, a police officer should know what they're entering. So does that mean they're going to get rid of the violent offender against youth? I mean, this is just the beginning, in my opinion. You're going to get rid of the violent offenders against
what about
youth
registered
database?
Sex offenders?
Yeah, I mean, where does it end?
Well, and I think to your point, that's exactly correct. And Amy's question, what about sex offenders? At which point do you stop? Do you draw the line of coddling the criminal behavior? Fine, you want to use the gangs as the here and now, but what about sex offenders? To your point, at what point do you give them their affirmation, the way you're giving gang members affirmation, or the way you give domestic abusers their affirmations moving forward? There has to be an effect for negative behavior, and they are hell-bent on ensuring that this is an anything-goes society that they're trying to push forward.
So this 223-page report, I mean, there's no decisive action to reduce crime.
No.
There's nothing in here that says we're going to hire more police officers. We're going to hire, when he was campaigning, he said, I'm not into defunding police, and I'm going to move 200 police officers into the detective division. But I don't even know if we need that right now. We need police officers.
You need bodies on the street to address, because right now, trying to actually investigate and do the detective work is already at a loss, because we're not actually arresting the individuals or even responding to the calls to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, and his term was, I want to reimagine policing, whatever that means. I have no idea what that means. But let's turn to the superintendent picks. We got Chief Larry Snelling, who I sort of like him. Chief, is it Angel Novales, and Chief Sean Barnes. If
Barnes is the current police chief of Madison, Wisconsin. Because Madison and Chicago are very similar.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big city, little city.
Around there with AK-47s or something else.
Yeah. But I would hope that they would pick somebody within the house, somebody who knows where the bodies are, somebody who knows where the issues are, where the problems are. We tried that. Chicago's tried that, bringing in somebody from the outside, fresh set of eyes.
We had Charlie back during COVID.
Right.
And then we've had more police superintendents than I've had
Yeah.
boyfriends. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I started with Phil Klein, Terry Hillard. I can go on the list.
So what is the mayor looking for as it pertains to hiring a new superintendent?
Well, that's going to be the question, really. I know that he hasn't spoken with many of us on this matter. I know he says that he understands that certain things are inherent when it comes to dealing with crime and violence, that you have to arrest criminals when you catch them. But I also know that there's a very different spin in the hallways when it comes to dealing with violence. And many people who continue to advocate for the defunding or even the abolishing of the police department. I know there are 66 members of the police districts, of which I think 40 of them are defunders and or abolitionists. But I think what is most interesting is that you have a candidate who somehow talked his way in. I guess I'm going to tip my hand on who I don't like. He may be a great guy, the gentleman from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But I saw in the news yesterday that Madison, Wisconsin had an entire whopping 6 homicides last year.
That's an afternoon in Chicago.
That's
3 hours.
That was last night.
Right.
That was last night. So what worries me is that in trying to bring in fresh air, I guess what they're hoping to do is that they're going to open us up if they pick someone like that who will have like the David Brown effect. Completely in over his skis, unaware of what's going on, and just trying to put a happy face on the decline of the police department in the city of Chicago. We don't need that. And I think what we need to remember is that even though this drawn-out commission whittled down many candidates who were well qualified and came up with these three individuals, and believe me when I say Novales and Snelling are very well-qualified individuals. Snelling actually used to be one of my commanders in my ward. Love him to death.
I like him.
You have to focus on the basics. And if you're going to put someone in there who has never dealt with Chicago, doesn't understand, you're going to wind up with David Brown 2.0.
Come on.
And we don't need that.
All right. Alderman Ray Lopez, 15th Ward. We're going to have to leave it there. I do have one quick question, though. The migrants that are at Gage Park, what's the exit plan so that our children could have their recreational space back? Do you know what it is?
So, well, I do, as a matter of fact. So at Gage Park, that's supposed to be a transitionary location so that we can get them vetted in terms of health, housing, and other options so that they're in and out within 90 days. The problem with having a space like that where it's not permanent is that it will remain permanent if people keep coming and we have to keep transitioning people into other options. The goal of all of this has to be to stop the influx of individuals into this country, into this city, and that falls squarely on the federal government, which sadly is more interested in discussing Tide Pods and everything else under the sun, except what's going on right now at our borders and in our nation.
Take care, Mayor. Alderman.
Oh, yeah. Someday. Maybe someday. All right. Thanks so much, Mr. Lopez, and have a wonderful weekend. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
When life ends, your legacy begins. Ensure your legacy lives on at Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago with 47 locations throughout Cook and Lake counties. Take advantage of 0% financing, lock in today's prices, and safeguard yourself against rising inflation. Visit CatholicCemeteryChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 to schedule a free consultation today.
I was going to have you do this live read. You're telling me you can't see?
I went
How many
3.0
fingers
readers.
do I have up,
I can
John?
see that. But, I can't, read.
Oh.
No, not like
But you
that.
just read the
I can't
223-page
see.
report.
You know how big I blew it up?
Oh.
And I had my readers.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you've heard of Remke's Garage commercials on AM 560. So now they specialize in servicing Sprinters and light-duty diesels. But the experts at Remke's also service Isuzu and Chevy low-carb forward trucks. So if you own an Isuzu or a Chevy low-carb forward truck but aren't sure where to get it repaired, take it to Remke's Garage, your #1 dealer alternative for repairs to your Isuzu, NPR, Isuzu F-Series, or Chevy low-cab forward truck. Whether gas or diesel, your truck is the lifeline of your business, and that's why Remke's Garage offers free loaners while your truck is being serviced. That's nice. Guess what? They'll even pick up and deliver for your convenience. Remke's Garage has a factory scan tool to properly diagnose Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty. So go to Remke'sGarage.com. That's Remke'sGarage.com to learn more about their specialization in Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks. And schedule your appointment today. That's REMKES Garage.com.
It took a panicked run on a major bank to lead to the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history. And Moody's just downgraded the entire U.S. banking system from stable to negative. Just a reminder why many people diversify their portfolios with something tangible, something that doesn't need bailing out, something that can't vanish into thin air. Learn the truth in Swiss America's shocking report, The Secret War on Cash. This all-out war against cash is a war against the Constitution, against all freedom-loving Americans. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Get your free copy by calling or texting 800-630-1495. That's 800-630-1495. This all-out war on cash, digital forms of currency too, is growing daily. So please get and read The Secret War on Cash, free to Salem listeners by calling or texting now at 800-630-1495. Make sure you mention Salem when you call or text 800-630-1495.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I ran this by my doctor. I always run it by her, everything I take, and I told her I've been taking this for a while. Is this okay to take? She goes, oh, this is wonderful for you to take. Keep taking it. She goes, I approve this. This is very good. So she said, yes. She said, this is one thing you can take that's very good. I'm not going to stop taking Balance of Nature.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, visit surroundchicago.com. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Darren Bailey's back in the political game, and he wants to take a congressional seat away from a conservative. We'll explain, but now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
69 degrees at 7:31 on AM 560, The Answer. Hollywood, nearly all of it, is on strike this morning. Film and television production is coming to a standstill in Hollywood. SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher says the union representing 160,000 actors is walking off the job after failing to reach an agreement with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers representing studios.
How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting.
Disney CEO Bob Iger responds to the latest actor demands.
There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic. That is, quite frankly, very disruptive.
They're joining Hollywood writers who've been on strike for nearly 2.5 months. Federal defense bill is in doubt after House Republicans vote to restrict abortion access, bar transgender health services, and limit some diversity training for military personnel. Democrats are condemning the move, warning they can't back the defense bill now. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds will sign a strong pro-life bill today that will effectively ban nearly all abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The bill passed Tuesday prohibits abortions after cardiac activity is detected. Current Iowa law allows abortions up to 20 weeks. National Weather Service confirming at least 11 tornadoes touched down Wednesday evening in and around the Chicago area. No reports of injuries. A 21-year-old employee was shot and killed by her boyfriend at a Mariano's grocery store in Evergreen Park Thursday morning.
We cautiously, approached and entered immediately based on the information that we had.
Evergreen Park Police Chief saying investigators quickly tracked down the suspected shooter because of a previous domestic incident.
We got the information of the possible suspect involved in this as her boyfriend with a description of his car and license plate.
Chicago police located the car and a suspect about 25 miles away in the Edgewater neighborhood. Another huge loss for Chicago's business community. corporate jobs, and the regional economy. Railcar and intermodal freight firm TTX is leaving its West Loop office building for Charlotte, North Carolina, the latest business anchor to pull out of the city of Chicago. The move will be completed by the end of the year. The move also weakens Chicago's office real estate market, putting 5 more floors of empty space on the market. The amount of office space available in Chicago right now is at an historic high. Battle Creek, Michigan-based Kellogg's did announce one of its 3 companies will keep offices in Chicago. Happy birthday to a friend of the show, baseball and sports announcer Steve Stone. Stoney's 76 today. Chicago sports. Northwestern continues to clean house, now firing their head coach of their baseball program, Jim Foster. Former White Sox outfielder Brian Anderson takes over. Cubs open up the second half of the baseball season against the Red Sox at Wrigley Field, while the White Sox will start a second half surge when they visit the Braves in Atlanta. The news, a service of Salem Surround. You can go to surroundchicago.com today. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Sean Thompson Show.
There are millions upon millions of people of good character going to good states and low-rent Democrat scum going to Democrat states. After all, that's where they thrive. This is where this is acceptable. And it's being put as something that's normal. It's normal now to be an outright thief, scumbag, traitor to your country.
The Sean Thompson Show, weekday afternoons at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
Gatto Industrial Platers, Inc. is the specialist in zinc and zinc nickel plating. Gatto is big, they're good, and they're easy to work with. Their high production rack plating line has up to a 27-foot capacity to handle any zinc plating requirement. Gatto's 210,000 square foot facility can process 300 tons per day and offers complete custom packaging with available pickup and delivery in the Chicago metro area by Gatto's own fleet of trucks. All of Gatto's products are inspected and certified to ensure that each customer is receiving the best and most cost-effective plating protection. Gatto is home to King Kong, the largest zinc plating line in North America that can zinc plate parts up to 27 feet long and weighing up to 8,000 pounds. For a quote and fast 24 to 48-hour service, call George Gatto Jr. or George Gatto Sr. at 1-800-290-1223. That's 1-800-290-1223. 1-800-290-1223.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful at lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question, and the owners of Relief Factor tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. That's right, designed to heal, and I agree with them. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, yes, 100% drug-free ingredients, each helping your body deal with inflammation. Each of the 4 ingredients deals with inflammation from a different metabolic pathway. That's right there, approaching from 4 different angles, maybe why so many people find such wonderful relief. So if you have back pain, shoulder, neck, hip, knee, or foot pain from exercise or just getting older, you should order the 3-week quick start, discounted to only $19.95, to see if it will work for you. It has for about 70% of the 500,000 people who've tried it, and they've ordered more. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF, the number 4RELIEF, to find out about this offer. Feel the difference.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
7:37. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center is a service of MyPillow. Big news. MyPillow employees want to thank you by giving you their lowest price in history on their MyPillows. Now only $19.98 with promo code Liberty. MyPillow.com, promo code Liberty. West Chicago, an accident, Route 59 in Condi. On the north side, police activity in the Uptown neighborhood, Marine Drive in Montrose. Police are investigating a homicide there. I-65, big-time roadwork changes for you starting tonight. On I-65 northbound to eastbound 8094, they're going to close the ramp there tonight until Monday morning. Dan Ryan clearing an accident in the express lanes inbound at Pershing. Once they get that out of your way, it will be about a 21-minute trip, 95th into the Burns Circle. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Sun and clouds, some showers, maybe a pop-up thunderstorm, and a high of 88 today. Currently, we have 70 at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. Don't miss Cigar Night with Dennis Prager, Dan Proft, and Sean Thompson on Thursday, August 24th. Get your tickets today at 560theanswer.com/cigar.
All right, welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony, and for Dan Proft.
Hey.
Host of Black and Right Radio, Saturdays 4 to 7 p.m. Who's filling in for you tomorrow?
Verlon.
Oh, for the whole 3 hours?
Verlon and the Pie Doc.
The Pie Doc?
Yeah.
It sounds like a garage band.
You got to tune in to find out who he is.
Who, the Pie Duck?
Yeah, former school superintendent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show.
All right, and we do have an update for you on that cat killer in Wicker Park. I have some information for people. Oh, yeah. And things are getting real around here. Cat ladies
You're not
are
gonna let
uniting.
that go, are you?
Oh, I'm not letting this go because he's out. He's among us, but we'll explain later. We now know that Darren Bailey, we all know who Darren Bailey is.
Yes.
State senator, ran for governor.
First state rep,
then state senator. Yeah. And then now he's announced early last week that he's back in the game, guys, and he is running for the the 12th district congressional seat, which stretches from Missouri all the way to Indiana and southern
down to Kentucky.
Down to
the
Kentucky.
Kentucky border.
It's a big district, and he wants the job, but somebody already has the job. But here's the campaign ad.
I just saw this morning that they're still allowing boys in girls' sports. I was reading the other day about how many illegal immigrants are crossing the border every day. I'm worried for my family, for my kids' future, for my community's future.
We need someone in D.C. who's not politically correct. Someone who doesn't care what other people think. We need someone fighting for us.
Friends, it comes down to this. Joe Biden is ruining our country. The southern border's collapsed. Crime is rampant. Families are having trouble putting food on the table. And all of this woke stuff. The elites and lobbyists are selling out America. We need someone to go up there and fight instead of rolling over. If we can get some fighters up there, we can make a big difference. President Trump made a big difference. He was the first person in my lifetime who really stood up for the little guy and our rural values. He was right on the tax cuts. He was right on the Supreme Court. Without his appointments, we wouldn't have been able to overturn Roe versus Wade. And he was right on China and trade. They've tried to destroy Trump because of it. And I'm sure they'll attack me too. You guys know me. We've lived our lives together. I'm one of you, and I will fight for the America we all believe in. Look, it's not an option to sit on the sidelines. It's time to fight. That's why I'm proud to announce that I'm running for Congress to work for you, not the special interests.
All right. Now we have the incumbent. See, that's the problem. This is just separating the Republican Party a little bit more and dividing it a little bit more because we have a solid conservative in Congress.
Beyond solid.
Beyond solid. Yeah. And his name is Mike Bost. Good morning, Mr. Bost, Congressman. How are you?
Good morning, Amy, and good morning, John.
Good morning,
yes, so where were you when you heard the
good.
news that he was running?
Well, actually, I was doing my job, serving from a conservative governing stance. We heard rumors of this, and then it's kind of like, why would you run against a true conservative? I'm pro-life. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I don't believe in big government. I've stood with Trump. Trump's endorsed me 3 times. I have the only district in the United States that Trump has come to twice. Yep. We had major rallies in the Metro East area of St. Louis and right near my hometown 6 miles out of Murfreesboro and 3 miles out of Carbondale at the airport there. We had a crowd of 6,000 inside the hangar and 7,000 outside the hangar. It's never been a question on whether Mike Bost is conservative, which seems really strange that someone would then come and want to run and say, I want somebody who's going to stand up, because everything that he said,
you do.
I've got a record of standing up for it. I do.
Yeah.
I do. So it's really weird. The question is, are you just looking for a job? I don't know. So I'm going to keep doing my job, by the way. So.
Well,
and
when was the last
hopefully-
time you spoke to him?
Probably at one of the Lincoln Day dinners, whenever we were hearing rumors, and people were actually standing up at Lincoln Day dinners saying, you know, we need to unite as Republicans. We don't need to turn on each other. And you know, I don't know whether it's key people around him that need to keep their political jobs because he's paying people to, you know, be his political advisors and be campaign manager. And you know, at his announcement, it was really wild because the only thing, and they never mentioned my name, and that's okay. Matter of fact, I'm fine with them not mentioning my name. But his campaign manager said something about people go to Washington and all of a sudden start wearing three-piece suits.
Oh.
Okay, just so you know, I do wear a three-piece suit. I like a three-piece suit. And if that's the biggest problem I have with my constituency, that I wear a just so you know, I wore a three-piece suit when I was in the Marine Corps because you had to have a flak jacket on, so that made a three-piece suit. I had to have a three-piece suit when I was a firefighter because that was the turnout gear. That's the way it was set up, was three-piece suits. I kind of like three-piece suits.
Yeah. I've seen
So,
I've seen you sitting right next to me with a three-piece.
Well,
I gotta say,
There should be some
I might be a
decorum
little
in
biased
Washington,
in this.
D.C.
I might be a little biased because Mike Boss was my seatmate. He literally
Yeah, office mate.
office mate, seatmate, and he
Springfield?
he taught me a lot about
Yeah.
how Springfield operated. And I was a little shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little shocked to see that Darren Bailey, who is a great man, he's a good man.
Yeah, I'll not badmouth him. That's
Yeah.
right.
And but we have the 13th and the 17th that are occupied by Democrats. I really wish, because I think Darren Bailey had the name ID to possibly pull out, especially in the 17th congressional district,
Who's
up by the Rockford area. It's a Democrat. It's occupied by, I don't know who. I forget who's occupying it now. But I really wish he would have used all his resources to go after that seat. I know Mike is a conservative. I've known him. Mike is somebody who pushes for conservative values from the very first day that I met him. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, Congressman. I tend to forget to call him Congressman because, you know, we on the first name.
I did.
Yeah, right. but you know, I don't know if you want to talk more about the campaign.
No. I mean, are you guys gonna have a debate? Would you debate him if he asked you for one?
I don't know.
Because that would be a very boring debate because you both have the same.
It is that would be a
script.
boring debate.
Yeah.
I'm pro-life. Yes, I'm pro-life.
Yeah.
I believe that wokeness is terrible. You're right. I voted against wokeness every way in our military, at our VA. I've stood against the. What are we going to argue over?
I know. There's going to be no argument.
Right. I want to talk about what's happening up on the Hill.
Yes.
What's happening?
Okay, let's talk about it.
What's happening with you know, everything with the FBI, the IRS, Congressman.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you know, I said it yesterday on the show. You know, President Trump said they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just standing in the way. That turned out to be true. I mean, what's happening? What is Leader McCarthy going to do about all these shenanigans that's happening with these three-letter agencies?
Well, let me tell you what we're doing. There's three major things. One, you got Jamie Comer, who is bumps up against me in Kentucky. He is the chairman of an oversight committee that is aggressively going after many things, including asking for subpoenas of a whole lot of information. And then you've got Jim Jordan in the other committee aggressively going. Both of these committees are doing oversight. Now, the problem you have is unless you watch C-SPAN or Fox News, you don't hear anything that's going on in the committee, even though the committee is getting into finding some very, very unbelievable stuff. And this Hunter Biden thing is okay. Let's be clear. Hunter is just happened to be the guy that can't get off coke, so he puts his head real high. and Dad can't keep it down, and
Right.
now all of a sudden Dad may be tied with it too. So that being said, and I don't know who put the coke in the, but it's not amazing. It's not shocking to me, and none of us as Republicans believed that the specials that the police at the White House would actually come up with an answer, even though it's the most monitored place in the world. Who put cocaine in it? Okay, just so you know.
Right.
But these are the things we're doing as far as the oversight committees. Another thing that we're doing that's vitally important to understand, when we put our House rules together, a lot of people don't remember this, we put together also what's known as the Church Committee, okay? The Church Committee has nothing to do with what you attend on Sunday, okay? The Church Committee is it's called Church because back in the 70s, there was a senator by the name of Church that put together what was known as the Church Committee. The Church Committee actually gives oversight of why? The agencies, because what happened is in the 70s, Congress realized that agencies were going rogue, not answering to Congress, but actually doing things on their own because they felt like they were above Congress. Not that we were having that today, you see. And so we're actually using the Church Committee to also investigate these agencies because exactly what that happens with these agencies is the fact, hey, Trump wasn't wrong when he said the deep state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is real. And he, first off, he also wasn't the first one that used the term swamp. The first one to use the term swamp was a guy by the name of Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
And but Ronald Reagan also made a statement, it's awful hard to drain the swamp while you're up to your, we'll say hind end in alligators. And that, so, because Ronald Reagan realized what was happening. What we have here in D.C. is a case where, and let me tell you, I'm chairman of the VA committee, and what I've realized in the VA is the VA has a lot of people that are upper echelon administrators that their attitude is, well, you as members of Congress are going to come and go, and the secretary of the VA is going to come and go, but we're going to be here and we're still going to run it. So just go away and let us do what we do.
All right.
That's these agencies. That's the attitude of these agencies, and that's why our forefathers were so wise that they gave Congress not only the power of the purse, but they gave them the power of oversight.
All right, Mike Boss, we're going to have to leave it there for today. U.S. Representative for Illinois' 12th Congressional District. Thank you so much for
Thanks
calling
for having me on.
Keep fighting.
John, thank you so much.
No problem.
You got this. All right, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
What does it mean to be pro-life? Picture women living in a welcoming, family-like setting during and after an unexpected pregnancy, going to school or working, learning life skills. Picture a caring Christian staff who walk through these challenges, providing support and guidance. Picture a community of faith-filled supporters who answer the call to support life. That's pro-life at Redeeming Life's Maternity Home Ministry. We are a Christian organization founded to support pregnant women in unexpected pregnancies by offering a home, help, and hope during pregnancy and up to a year postpartum. We are opening a maternity home in suburban Chicago in 2023 and welcome you to learn more about how you can support God's gift of life by supporting women who courageously choose life for their unborn babies. Visit rlom.org for info and opportunities to help furnish this new maternity house and provide a home, help, and hope. Get involved to support life. Visit rlom.org today.
Sadly, some people in the Chicagoland area have water still in their basements or they're drying out, and more rain is coming today. You don't have to live like this. The best time to call Permaseal is in between storms, 800-421-SEAL, 800-421-7325. They will come in, give you a free estimate on what you need to fix, whether you're having water in your basement or in your crawl space, whether you have a sump pump or a backup sump pump that needs help or repair or needs to be replaced. Permaseal is the company to call. An A+ rating by the BBB and a 4.9-star Google rating. Permaseal, or go online to permaseal.net.
This is Mike Gallagher. Sign up today for an unforgettable experience in Israel this October. Dennis Prager and I are traveling to the Holy Land on the Stand With Israel tour with our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. This is a trip of a lifetime. You don't want to miss it. Register today before it's too late. Visit standwithisraeltour.com, standwithisraeltour.com, or call 855-565-5519, 855-565-5519. And together, let's stand with Israel.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I ran this by my doctor. I always run it by her, everything I take, and I told her I've been taking this for a while. Is this okay to take? She goes, oh, this is wonderful for you to take. Keep taking it. She goes, I approve this. This is very good. So she said, yes. She said, this is one thing you can take that's very good. I'm not going to stop taking Balance of Nature.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Are you a business owner with a strategic mission, a drive to succeed, and a plan for growth, but you just need the right bank? Hi, Mike Gallagher here, letting you know that Signature Bank is all about going the distance for commercial banking customers. It's what Signature Bank does every day. Their team understands that accessibility is key to their culture. In times like these, you want a bank that is there for you to weather the bad times and capitalize on the good. And with Signature Bank by your side, you can't go wrong. It's a true partnership. That's why Signature Bank in Chicago is my bank. That's right, I'm a customer. I believe in what they have to offer, from innovative tech and customized solutions to help your business grow and thrive. Reach out to my friends at Signature Bank. Call 773-467-5630, 773-467-5630, or visit them online at signaturebank.bank. That's signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank makes commercial banking personal. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you considering a unique way to enhance your investment knowledge this year? Then sign up today for the all-inclusive Eagle Financial Publications Cruise. Along with our trusted partner, The Money Show, we're setting sail this December to explore some of the most beautiful and unspoiled destinations in the Caribbean. But this is no ordinary vacation. It's a chance to learn from top Eagle financial experts like best-selling authors George Gilder, Mark Skousen, and others who will be hosting a series of workshops and seminars throughout the trip. Imagine lounging on the sun deck while discussing investment strategies with like-minded individuals, or enjoying a gourmet dinner at the same table with one of our leading financial authorities. This once-in-a-lifetime cruise is a perfect way to combine education and relaxation to achieve your investment goals. This cruise will sell out quickly, so visit EagleFinancialCruise.com today to learn more and to secure your cabin. That's EagleFinancialCruise.com. Eagle Financial is a division of Salem Media Group. AM 560, The Answer.
All right, listen up. We told you the gruesome story about Thomas Martell, the 22-year-old Wicker Park monster who tortured and killed 6 kittens, and he'd call them the same name. They were orange tabbies, and he'd replace one with another one that looked like that last one. Because I think he might have some mommy issues, too, because he didn't want his mom to know what he was doing. Okay, so we found out he's out. He's on electronic monitoring. Yeah. So if you own a cat shelter, or if you have a cat or dog or any type of animal on Craigslist or social media, know what he looks like, know his name. He may even try and use a different name.
Oh, boy.
So Whiskers and Tails Rescue Foundation put this on their Facebook page yesterday. They talked about, how horrible it was. They talked about the events, in animal rescue. We see many things, the good, the bad, the ugly. It weighs heavily on us. And then they wrote this. This individual submitted an application for one of our kittens back in May. Thankfully, we did not respond for reasons we will not mention. Why not mention them?
Right.
We also believe this individual visited our adoption center twice and inquired how he can be a regular visitor. And lastly, we suspect this same individual tried to attempt to steal one of our cats on June 7th by trying to impersonate a volunteer with our organization. We will not share specifics. Why not?
Right.
Thankfully, all attempts failed. Thankfully, all of our cats are safe and alive. Unfortunately, other cats and kittens were not so lucky and didn't get their happy ending. Our hearts are broken and we are absolutely devastated. It's been a waterfall of tears. Please do not give up your pet to just anyone or for free. Please do not allow your pets to roam outdoors. This is your reminder that monsters aren't just under the bed or in the movies. They're right next to you. And please, if you suspect, know of anyone, or see anyone abusing an animal, do not wait. Call 911 or go to a police station and tell someone you need to speak up. Today we are hugging our cats and kittens a little bit extra.
Wow. As a cat lady, that disturbs you.
Well, I mean, he would torture these cats so much that one little kitten even peed in his food because he was that stressed. But he would drown the cats, then bring them back to life, and then drown them again. He would dismember them, dry out their organs, and feed them to his other big cat, and then he put them in the microwave oven. 3 on separate occasions. Okay, this guy, and he's out. Look at his picture. You would never imagine that this person, my friend yesterday, she's like, wow, he looks like he's a junior at Northwestern. Like he could just
He loves it young.
Yeah. Ugh. So just be vigilant. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the mainstream media is now targeting Governor DeSantis' wife. Why? We'll begin there with Bethany Mandel. And don't forget, Open Mic Friday at 8:38. But now into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
A community search names 3 finalists for police superintendent. A grocery store employee murdered in Evergreen Park. Cubs host the Red Sox. White Sox visit the Braves. And WIND's Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Quiet on the set. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News TV and movie production is essentially shut down by what's now a double strike, actors joining writers on the picket lines.
The official word coming at a union press conference where members were wearing black T-shirts that read SAG-AFTRA Strong. Union President Fran Drescher.
The entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history. That is a moment of truth.
Drescher mentioning she went in good faith, but was shocked at how far apart they are. This is only the second time in history the two unions are striking together. The last time was 1960. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
2 weeks after the Supreme Court shot down President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, the Education Department announces what it calls a fix to income-based payment plans, letting 800,000 borrowers off the hook. It has to do with going back and counting more monthly payments, qualifying borrowers for forgiveness. House Republicans tell Fox they're optimistic a defense spending bill can be debated on and passed today, despite amendments opposed by Democrats.
An amendment to overturn the Pentagon policy, which allows service members to travel out of state for abortions. But even some Republicans believe that restriction goes too far. There's a plan to prevent the Pentagon from paying for hormone treatment or gender-altering surgeries. There's also a proposal to end diversity programs in the armed services.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. Fox confirms the arrest of a serial killer suspect on Long Island, New York.
Possible break in the high-profile cold case comes after the murders of 10 people dating back to 2010. Some forensic experts suggest the case went cold after the killing stopped due to the suspect being too old to kill.
Fox's Todd Pyro. The suspect's not been identified yet by police. No word what breakthrough there might have been leading to an arrest. Police did last year release audio of a 911 call made by Shannon Gilbert before she disappeared in 2010. America's listening to Fox News.
$70 degrees, 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. The National Weather Service does confirm at least 11 tornadoes touched down Wednesday evening, downing trees, power lines, and damaging homes and businesses across the suburbs. A body recovered from the Chicago River near the Salt Shed concert venue Thursday evening around 7 p.m. Chicago police say the body recovered identified as a 63-year-old man. The list of candidates for police superintendent of Chicago have been submitted for the mayor's approval.
We are looking for a generational leader, and we believe that we have found 3.
Here's AM 560's Nikki Whaley.
The list of possible candidates vying to be Chicago's narrowed down. The Sun-Times reports the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability have chosen 3 finalists. Those names are now going to be sent to Mayor Johnson, who will have 30 days to either choose one of them or reject them all and ask for another nationwide search. In the AM 560 The Answer newsroom, I'm Nikki Whaley.
The names include CPD Chief of Counterterrorism Larry Snelling, the department's Chief of Constitutional Policing and Reform Angel Novales, and Madison, Wisconsin Police Chief Sean Barnes. Chicago sports. Baseball kicks off the second half this evening as the Cubs open up a set with the Red Sox at Wrigley Field, while the White Sox will try to start a second-half surge when they visit the Braves in Atlanta. The news service of the AM 560 Advantage, where membership has its privileges. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs. Now, the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Big bank earnings are coming in better than expected, and Dow futures are higher. J.P. Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo both top forecasts. J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says the U.S. economy continues to be resilient, consumer balance sheets remain healthy, and consumers are spending, though a little more slowly. Dimon says there are still risks to the economy. Core inflation has been stubbornly high. Wells Fargo says it was helped in the quarter by higher interest rates and loan balances. Also this morning, both United Health and BlackRock Financial's earnings were upbeat. The Federal Trade Commission is making another attempt to stop Microsoft from closing its deal for Activision Blizzard. The FTC is asking a federal appeals court in San Francisco to pause the merger. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, August 24th at Klein Creek Golf Club in Winfield. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft and Sean Thompson for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar. That's 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by healthinsurancementors.com and by Blue Star Security.
Are you a driver of a Ford PowerStroke diesel engine? Tired of taking your Ford PowerStroke diesel in to be misdiagnosed or paying for repairs that don't fix the problem? Well, bring your vehicle to the diesel headquarters, Remke's Garage. The shop is equipped with state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment and highly trained technicians. Take it to the experts. Take it to Remke's Garage. Remke's Garage specializes in Ford PowerStroke, Chevy Duramax, Dodge Cummins, Mercedes Sprinter, and Isuzu diesel engines and transmission repairs. At Remke's, they'll make your vehicle repairs convenient by offering a free commercial loaner vehicle.
Remke's Garage, where you won't spend $1,000 to fix a $100 problem. Call for details and to schedule an appointment at 800-5-REMKES. Or visit Remke'sGarage.com. Remke's Garage, your diesel headquarters.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
8:07. Let's get an update on the roads. We do that, of course, in our Team Hochberg Traffic Center. Outbound Edens, you've got slow traffic on between Lincoln and Church, and Pratt and Niles Center as well. Those slowdowns are showing up as you commute out to Lake Cook Road. The Kennedy inbound, lighter than normal right now, 61 in on this Friday from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. The Kennedy outbound, 33 from the Burns Circle interchange into O'Hare, and things are, or from the junction into O'Hare, and things on the inbound Eisenhower are at 52 minutes, 390 to the old post office. Stevenson right now is pretty mild, 38 minutes, 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Today, a blend of sunny clouds, shower and thunderstorm. High today, 88. Cloudy and humid. Shower and thunderstorm tonight, low 69. Sunny day tomorrow. Still could pick up a thunderstorm in spots. A high tomorrow afternoon, up to 83. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
71 at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560 The Answer.
They're doing it. The mainstream media is now calling Casey DeSantis, she's the First Lady of Florida, the wife of Governor DeSantis. They're calling her Karen. Why? Well, she launched her initiative, Mamas for DeSantis, and it highlights the governor's defense of children during the COVID lockdowns. You remember that? And on issues related to kids' innocence and gender ideology. And she's out with a campaign ad.
In America, we've witnessed a lot and put up with enough.
There's a mom at a playground getting arrested.
You guys gotta go.
Let's go. Handcuffed.
He is arresting her for being on a public playground. Her kids are here. What are we gonna...
We've been forced into silence.
That's shoving a mask on a 1-year-old on a plane.
Into compliance.
That's a preschooler shoving a
Told
mask up.
that we must trust the science.
Indoor and outdoor venues should be closed.
We've been told that we must deny truth, back down, and look the other way. Enough is enough. When you come after our kids, we fight back. Because there's nothing we won't do to protect our children. They're not yours. These are our kids.
Our nation's children are all our children.
We will not allow you to exploit their innocence to advance your agenda. We are no longer silent. We are united. And we have finally found our fighter.
We're not going to let you impose an agenda on our kids. We're going to stand up for our kids.
He'll do for America what he did for us in Florida. Schools open. Parents' rights defended. School choice universal. Critical race theory prohibited. DEI stopped. Child mutilation illegal. Girls' sports saved. Communities protected. Our economy growing. And freedom guaranteed.
But winning the fight in Florida is just the beginning. We must protect parents' rights and the innocence of our children. We must restore sanity in our society. We need every mama and every grandmama in every corner of the country to stand up and fight back by electing Ron DeSantis President of the United States of America. Join us by texting MAMAS to 512345.
I get the chills every time I hear that campaign ad.
What was Karen about that?
There's not, well, the left are threatened by her. So they're calling her on MSNBC over the weekend. They called her America's Karen, believe it or not.
That was an amazing ad.
With more on this, you got to see it too. We should tweet it out on Morning Answer. You got to get the full effect. Bethany Mandel, welcome back to the show. She's co-founder of Write Books for Kids and co-author of Stolen Youth, How Radicals Are Erasing Innocence and Indoctrinating a Generation. Good morning, Bethany. How are you?
Good morning. You also have my 7-month-old. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. I was wondering, like, what's he doing right now? So tell me this. I'm sure you wrote about this MSNBC analyst, David Jolly. Why are they calling her Karen?
Yeah, so she's America's Karen. I wrote a column for the New York Post, I think 2 days ago about this. And basically, I mean, what it comes down to is they call any white woman who has the gumption to sort of stand up to their activism, they call them a Karen. And in this context, Karen kind of means like, you know, someone who complains and someone who expects things to be done for her. And I argue in the New York Post, like, good, she's America's Karen. She is demanding all of us, all of our children, have some really basic rights to, like, not be indoctrinated, for example, to receive a adequate education. So if she is a Karen, like, let her own that.
Right. But the problem for the progressives, I mean, America's Mom, we need to let them know that our kids are not their business. Our kids are not their property.
Yep. No, I mean, what did Biden say? This is a village. I mean, it's based on what Hillary Clinton said, 20 years ago. The working title of Stolen Youth, the book that I co-wrote with Carol Markowitz about all this stuff, the working title of it was Get Your Village Off My Children. That was the working title.
I love that.
And it's because they think that all of our kids belong to them.
Wow. Do you think, I think she's a great asset for Governor DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
Personally,
yeah.
I was in love with him, then I fell out of love with him. And I don't know why. So can you help me?
Yeah, I was actually wondering that. Why did you fall out of love with him? What happened?
I don't know. I think it's all these Trump indictments, and I think that Trump is going to be the nominee. I really do. I know that all these other people are joining the race. What are we up to, 19 now? Or
50,000.
50. Well, I think, it's going to be like it was last year where we're going to have two different debates because you can't have all those candidates on the same stage at a time. And I didn't really like that about it, but Trump might not even show up.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a big problem for the party. But are you at liberty to say, are you a Trump supporter, DeSantis, or are you still undecided?
I mean, I'm pretty solidly DeSantis. I think that he has the best shot in the general. And I think that as a party, we're in an unfortunate situation that, Trump is likely to win the nomination because he's the most popular among the GOP primary electorate. But he is not going to win a general. He is very unpopular among general voters. And so I think that we have to be pragmatic. And the pragmatic choice, I think, is DeSantis. I think another great choice is Tim Scott. He, I think, is sort of the dark horse that could come through and, like, really disrupt this race. But ultimately, I want to nominate someone who will win. And whoever that is has my support.
John, are you still
I'm
Trump?
listening.
No,
I'm still Trump. And I think I think what people are going to not realize is how the black and Latino vote's going to come out stronger for Trump in the general election.
You think so? I
do. I've talked this, but this time.
But Trump running Democrats that would normally stay home.
Yeah.
And independents, I think that it's going to motivate them to get to the polls.
But have you seen what Biden has done to this country since?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many more black people that are outspoken about
we've seen what happened in this country, and we got creamed in the midterms.
Yeah.
So Biden is bad doesn't get us very far.
Yeah, but I also think these indictments and these, because this is what you got to understand as it relates to black people. Remember, black people don't like how the government is used against them. I've talked to many of my friends who are far left and black, especially the men. They're like, nah, we see what they're doing to him. They've done it to our people for decades and for centuries in some
That's
some
why
way.
I know a lot of black people that didn't get the vaccine
Yeah,
because
right.
of remind people what happened.
Well, the Tuskegee experiment, right? Yeah, shooting them up with syphilis. Yeah. But I'm telling you, I'm talking to people who I see would have never even looked at Trump, who were Democrats, are saying, nah, that's my boy. And then you see what Ice Cube is starting to do. Ice Cube is out there saying, I'm not part of the club. I'm not part, and Cube carries a lot of weight with him, and Lil Wayne and a lot of these rappers are now, wait a minute, we realize who Trump was. We knew who Trump was. We fell for the lie of who people told us Trump was. And I think they're starting to say, wait a minute now, when you look at what Biden and Kamala, what they've done to the country, specifically done nothing for the black community, what have they done? And the question, they're answering the question now that Trump posed years ago. What in the hell do you have to lose? That's what I believe.
I mean, I think that is the case, and I think that we saw that in the last election, that he did pull in more black and Hispanic voters than any Republican, I think, in history.
Yeah.
But
Reagan.
I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough.
Well, I'm going to support whoever the nominee is. I mean, if it's DeSantis or if it's Trump or Tim Scott.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be there.
Because Joe Biden, President Biden, he's fallen a lot. We know that. Yeah. And then for some reason, I think this is the beginning of the end of him. Like they're going to find a replacement for him. Because over the weekend when Trump was at the UFC fight in Vegas, being vivacious, shaking hands, they allowed cameras to get video of Biden on the beach looking old and feeble. And that doesn't just happen. I think that was planned as a way to take him down. What do you think, Bethany?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's not well, and it's growing impossible for them to be able to hide that. Mm-hmm. One of the sort of scariest videos recently, and kind of have a new video every day, is him in the UK, and King Charles is like, "Okay, now this way, sir," and he's like really trying to direct him. And I have a relative who is very, very far left, and I use him as sort of my focus group of one. And in the beginning, at the last election, I said, Biden isn't great. He's not really that cognizant. He's not really that his cognitive function isn't great. And my relative was like, "You've been watching too much Fox News. Oh. This is a conspiracy theory. He's fine."
Yeah.
Fast forward to today, and that relative is like, "Oh, that guy is a few fries short of a Happy Meal." And I'm like, "Yes, that is correct. That is what I said several years ago."
And on Morning Joe, I want you to hear this. Mika Brzezinski, she blames his people for not clearing a path so that he can fall.
His staff needs to own his age. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think they do a good job helping out the president. Yes. He's 80. You need to be there for him, and you need to make a pathway. And you sure as hell better make sure he doesn't fall on a sandbag. And I blame the staff for that. You can't have these video images of the president tripping or the president going the wrong way. It's your job to make sure he gets from one place to another. He can handle the presidency.
I don't know if he can, but she sounds a little nervous or a little jumpy, huh, Bethany?
I mean, I think that she's correct. This is a Weekend at Bernie's situation, and you have to prop up the court.
I love it.
That's your job, and it's become your only job. And if you're failing, that's not great.
No, it is
She
not.
said that out. She said that part out loud, though.
Yeah.
Most of the media have been they've been staying away from all of that, but she said it out loud. Get out the way.
I have this horrible feeling that Gavin Newsom's going to come in
or Pritzker
at the last minute. Oh, Pritzker.
I think it's Pritzker. Pritzker has more money.
Governor Pritzker.
Governor Pritzker has
you
more
think
money.
they're going to embrace Governor Pritzker?
Are you seeing some of the stuff he's done here in Illinois? He thinks it fits the narrative nationwide. I don't think America is ready for what we're passing here in New York, California, and New York. I don't think America as a whole is ready for that yet.
Really?
Especially with
I think it's Newsom. I think he gives me the Obama fresh new
Smooth
thing
cat.
vibe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smooth
Yeah.
cat. And I'm going on Fox News and I care. Ugh. And we had Stephen Moore. Do you know who's?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
And he has a man crush on Gavin Newsom. Which is so gross. All right, Bethany, what are you working on? Any articles today while you're breastfeeding a 7-month-old?
I am, in fact. So I have a blog, Write Books for Kids. It's a Substack. And I am really inspired by what happened in Montana when they pulled out of the American Library Association. People are not aware of how much power the American Library Association has. And I think that it is a blueprint for the rest of the country to sort of take that power away by pulling out of the ALA. So I'm writing a piece from someone with the help of someone in Montana who helped pull that state library association out of the ALA. And I'm going to put that on our Substack, Write Books for Kids, number 4.
Write Books for Kids. Okay.
Yeah. And Bethany, you know, here in Illinois, our governor just signed a bill that stated that no books can be banned.
Right.
Which no one here in Illinois who ran for office called for a book ban.
No.
They just want age-appropriate books placed where kids could not get them if they're a kindergartner. What do you think about that?
Yeah, genderqueer should not be in our life.
It shouldn't be anywhere. I mean, listen, age appropriate. I don't want it there. I personally wouldn't want it there. But, you know, there's some parents who probably do want their kids to be there. I believe in let the wheat grow with the tares.
Good news is they can get those books from anywhere else. There's no banning that's happening.
Correct.
It's just we don't want little kids to have access to pornographic materials. I don't think that's a big ask.
It's not a big ask. And one of my liberal friends said, well, you know, I need to read those books. I said, I will bring you a copy of Genderqueer. Because it's on the summer reading list in a number of school districts here.
Oh my
but also
God.
she said, well, find me a heterosexual book that's
well, they don't do that.
equally bad.
They
I said,
don't do that.
the Notebook?
They're not publishing heterosexual because they want you to sound like a bigot. I don't want my kids having access to sexual content of any kind, hetero or homo.
Right.
Amen.
That's so true.
Yeah, amen. Look at that amen corner.
Get a witness. All right, Bethany Mandel, thank you so much. Go back to your baby. Thanks for
thank you.
Multitasking, as we women often do. Again, her Substack is Write Books for Kids, and her columns are in the New York Post. And she joined us with her baby on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With HalfPriceSchools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, HalfPriceSchools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child, too. Just go to HalfPriceSchools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit HalfPriceSchools.com. That's HalfPriceSchools.com.
All right, I'm going to be doing it soon, taking my Balance of Nature. Why? Not getting enough fruits and veggies on my own, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 31 different fruits and veggies. Mr. Anthony, what did you have for dinner yesterday or lunch? Any fruits and vegetables? I've got to turn that mic on.
There you
go.
Turn it on.
Oh,
I thought can we turn it on now?
I don't know. Do we have access to our mics? Oh, yeah, I guess we do.
Oh, we do. Oh,
yeah.
I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night. I was in the bed for. This wears me out when I come here in the morning.
I know it's hard.
And then I went to breakfast with Marcus right after, so I didn't get home till about
with
12
our
o'clock.
program director.
Yeah, 12. White Marcus. Guess what he ate?
What?
Chicken and waffles. Tell me he doesn't live up to that name, Black White Marcus.
Stop it. Oh my gosh, this is so inside baseball. People are probably like, "What are you talking about?"
His name is Marcus. You know
Marcus
his last
Brown.
name.
Yes.
What white man you've ever known?
All right. Okay. Let's get back to the balance of nature, shall we? Increased energy, ability to keep doing the things you love even as you age and get slap happy. So feel better, get the nutrition your body needs. Get Balance of Nature, 800-246-8751. That's the number to call. Use discount code Chicago because you'll get free shipping and 35% off your first preferred order of fruits and veggies. Or simply go online to balanceofnature.com. And be sure to use discount code Chicago.
It's summertime, and you want to keep the shop, warehouse, and other doors open for ventilation. Air circulation improves the well-being of your employees and customers, but open doors can let in the uninvited, like strangers, birds, rodents, and bugs. Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. can help solve the problem with a full line of commercial screen door products designed with these specific problems in mind. Call Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. now. Also, regular scheduled maintenance is the key, and Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. has multiple levels of maintenance programs for your company's needs and budget. They'll ensure your doors, grills, gates, and dock equipment are working to specification to increase the useful life of your doors. Visit their website to see a range of products and services at industrialdoor.com. Call anytime, 847-258-5620. Their team will be there to assist in designing a solution that works best for you. Since 1982, the Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. takes care of your doors so you can take care of business.
Sean Thompson here for my friend Tom Fortino of Alpha Wealth Group.
There aren't many people who would knowingly leave their job to start another job for a 30% cut in pay. And yet, people do it every day when they enter retirement. Why enter the exciting new chapter of your life with less money? Why trade the stress of work for more stress in retirement? Tom Fortino of Alpha Wealth Group can help. Just call Tom at 630-934-1855 for your complimentary, customized retirement. It addresses many of the big questions you may have, like what to do about Social Security, managing your investments, and how to create income you can never outlive. You can downsize your house, but don't downsize your lifestyle. Get a complimentary, customized retirement plan at 630-934-1855 or visit alphawealthgroup.com. That's alphawealthgroup.com.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, RWA, an SEC registered investment advisor. RWA and Alpha Wealth Group are independent of each other. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
AM 560, The Answer.
I want to be sure to get this in. I agree with Chris Christie on something.
Uh-oh.
So listen up. He was talking about, because President Trump, former President Trump, always blasts Chris Christie for his weight. Well, here's a response.
I lost a lot of weight when I was governor, and I've kept most of that weight off, but I still have a lot more to go. And so, I just look at him and think, what a child, how small he is. To be doing things like that. And by the way, as I suggested, Stephen, maybe he should look in the mirror because this guy ain't Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, I've seen some of those pictures of him golfing.
Wow.
And he doesn't look like he doesn't look like a Greek god to me. So the old people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Probably applies to him too. But in the end, what he's doing is he's not insulting me because I don't care about his opinion. But what he is doing by doing that is making other Americans who are suffering from this feel even more self-conscious than they do already. I will tell you, I think it's one of the last areas of physical discrimination that's acceptable, socially acceptable in this country. Nobody gets called out for calling somebody fat, Stephen.
That's true.
You make fun of someone in the LGBTQ community, you hear about it, right? You get canceled. You do something like that and discriminate and criticize someone because of their race, or their creed, or their ethnicity, boy, you get canceled right away, or their gender. But you call somebody fat, and that, of course, that's not a problem. I think it's wrong. I think most people who are overweight don't want to be overweight, and they're working to try to change their circumstance. So
I disagree. Lizzo, people went after people for calling her fat. People do come after people who call her fat. That's the one thing I don't like about Trump's. The whole name calling, because I don't do it. But I'm not looking to elect somebody like that. I want a president. That doesn't bother me.
Okay. We should stop fat shaming people.
Yeah.
Because people accuse me that all the time.
Right.
And I know it's a problem. Trust me. I know that they're suffering.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the moment has arrived. Open Mic Friday. Grab a line, 312-642-5600. Now let's head into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
71 degrees at 8:31. A suspect has been taken into custody this morning on New York's Long Island in connection with a long unsolved string of killings known as the Gilgo Beach murders. That, according to a law enforcement official speaking to the Associated Press in New York, the deaths of 11 whose remains were found in 2010 and 2011 along a New York Beach highway have long stumped investigators. Severe thunderstorms rolling through Vermont last night as the state continues to deal with deadly flooding from storms earlier this week. A record number of amendments have been filed to a must-pass defense spending bill in Congress. One of them would remove the marijuana testing requirement for military enlistees.
Marijuana is not like heroin. Both Democrats and Republicans understand this.
That's the opinion of Dave Bass, a veteran-turned-cannabis activist. India, trying to become the fourth country to execute a controlled landing on the moon, launching a rocket overnight from a site off the country's east coast. Hurricane Calvin is now a Category 2 storm in the eastern Pacific. It's moving west at a rate of about 15 miles an hour, tracking toward Hawaii, but it will likely no longer be a hurricane when it gets to the islands next Tuesday. The National Weather Service confirms at least 11 tornadoes touched down in the suburbs Wednesday evening, downing trees and power lines. No injuries have been reported. A man is in custody after a canine officer was shot and killed in Gary, Indiana. The shooting happened yesterday during a foot chase after the dog's handler tried to pull over a suspect wanted for aggravated battery and criminal recklessness. The suspect shot 10-year-old Falco in a backyard. The officer involved in that chase was not hurt. As Governor J.B. Pritzker and other business leaders travel across from the state, travel across the pond to the United Kingdom for a business deal at taxpayer expense, the governor and Speaker of the House, Chris Welsh, are heading up that group headed to the United Kingdom. According to the Truth in Accounting spokesperson Sheila Weinberg, there are many questions about surrounding costs that will be handed to taxpayers.
There's obviously a lot of security concerns. So, how much is that's going to cost? We don't know. What type of plane are they taking? Are they going to fly commercial, or are they going to use the governor's private plane?
Chris Davis of the National Federation of Independent Businesses also says, while there may be a benefit or two involved in the trip, he feels much more attention needs to be paid to businesses back home in Illinois. Chicago sports. Cubs open up the second half of the baseball season tonight as they host the Red Sox at Wrigley Field, while the White Sox will try to kick things off when they visit the Braves in Atlanta. The news, a service of the AM 560 Advantage, exclusive contest opportunities, special members-only content, 560theanswer.com/join. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher, The Mike Gallagher Show.
Have you heard about Hunter Biden's text message to a Chinese business associate?
I don't know if it's going to break through. The mainstream media has an excuse again not to cover it. They're covering everything about Russia and the Wagner Group.
That's how pitiful and corrupt and despicable they are.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Okay, I have a question. Do you want to eat more fruits and vegetables, but it's just too hard? Let me tell you about Balance of Nature. We all know that our bodies need a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to get the proper amount of nutrition. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies provides a colorful variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables. Your body will get thousands of phytonutrients from every capsule. Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
8:37, let's get an update on the roads. In our Team Hochberg Traffic Center, a service of Dell Technologies, Black Friday and July events, starting with savings on select PCs, powered by the latest Intel Core processors, plus deals on select accessories and free shipping on everything. Save now. Call 877-ASK-DEL. On the north side, in the Uptown neighborhood, there's police activity. Police reportedly investigating a homicide. Right now, there's not too much traffic being blocked off, but more emergency equipment are arriving on the scene. Elmhurst, an accident, North Avenue and Emory. As you're traveling on the tri-state, a disabled vehicle blocking a right lane northbound on 294 just after the Hinsdale Oasis. Interior expressways, 21 minutes. Dan Ryan inbound, 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. And the Kennedy right now is at an hour from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Sun and clouds, a couple of showers, and maybe a pop-up thunderstorm this afternoon. High 88. Currently 71. Next news at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Open mic! Open mic Friday! Call it now!
Song.
Open mic Friday!
All right, so I've been bugging Dan about this story all week, to the point where he says, "Wait, you can't hear me?"
I'll give you now.
Okay, to the point where he said, you're not done talking about that Rolling Stones journalist?"
Oh boy.
Because the guy who wrote the Rolling Stone article that called The Sound of Freedom a conspiracy theory, well, he's having a slut moment, don't you know? He put a picture of himself naked, well, his shirt's off. I don't know if he's naked in the heathen region, in front of some, flowers. And he, on social media, and he wrote slut moment.
What?
Slut, look
What does
at
that mean? I'm looking
No,
at
that
it.
means he's going to it's a slut moment, like, hey, and then he's got that provocative look. If a female journalist took off her shirt
Mm-hmm.
and said slut moment, do you think they'd have a job the
No.
next day? No, they'd be fired immediately. But this bozo, this clown,
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. I don't even want to say his name. He's doing this, and he's still writing for the magazine.
Wow.
He's not a journalist.
Who reads the Rolling Stone?
Well, some people do.
Still the music people, maybe? That's it? I don't know.
And also I want to remind people
Uh-oh.
that we have an event next Tuesday at the best title of a bookstore in the history of the world. Frugal Muse Books. Our good friend is going to be signing her book. Levi's Unbuttoned is the name of the book. And I will be joining her. Jennifer Say is her name. On Tuesday, July 18th from 7 to 9 p.m., 7511 Lamont Road in Darien. So
Yeah.
we will see you then.
Wow.
You're going to be there, right?
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. What is it?
Tuesday, 7 p.m. at
Yeah,
the
sounds like it.
Frugal Muse Books.
Yeah, I think I'll probably stay far away from that place. No,
Hey,
I'm
I
kidding.
support you on going
I
on
know,
your boat
I know,
cruise.
I know. Unless you say, John, you have to show up, I'll show up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you to show up.
Okay. Thank God.
But you should
I'm
out
so
of the goodness
sorry.
of your heart. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Ooh.
All right, so what did you want to get off your chest?
I want to more encourage people.
Okay.
I think you see everything that's happening in the world, and there's just not enough encouragement out there. I just want to play a snippet of a song that gets me through a lot, especially when I feel down, depressed, feel like there's no way out, and how I'm reminded that God is more than able, no matter what I'm going through. So I just want to play this song, and if you're going through anything, just know God is greater than whatever you're going through, and He's more than able to get you out of where you're at.
Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? stop believing right now. Don't quit believing right now. God is more than able. Who am I? Still can do it. Who am I tonight?
It's a beautiful song.
I know it's a
And
little
I
different.
just downloaded it on my iTunes.
I know it's a little different for the morning show, but sometimes I'm telling you, you just never know what people are going through, what they're facing. And that's why I always try to meet people with a smile. I was just coming from downstairs. This lady named Ginger, she works on the first floor. And I said, and she's like, "Good morning. How are you, son?" And I said, "It's so great to see somebody with a cheery disposition." She goes, "Because Jesus put this smile on my face, son."
Oh.
It's just amazing. Sometimes you just never know how you just saying hi to somebody brightens their day. So don't forget that in the midst of all this political, fighting and who wants Trump, who wants DeSantis, who wants Biden, that life itself is far more greater than these things. We can't forget that.
Okay, very well said, my friend. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. If you can't get through, call back when one drops off the line and we'll get you in. Let's go to Bob in Buffalo Grove. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hi, Bob.
How you doing, Amy? Nice to hear from you, John,
buddy.
again, and congrats on your grandson.
Thank
right?
you.
Grandson?
Yes. Grandson, August John.
I'm spending this weekend with my 1-year-old granddaughter. It took a while. I don't get to see her much because her parents live in the swamp, Alexandria, Virginia. Earlier in the show, you discussed the movie Sound of Freedom. I'm wondering if it will have, quote, legs, how successful and the impact. Now that, if anything, if you've heard anything from the Biden administration on the content of this movie, what are other government leaders discussing about the movie, and what, if anything, is being done? And then finally, 6 months from now, it'll be award season. Will AMPES, that's the American Motion Picture Arts and Scientists, will they address the movie, and will it garner any Academy Award nominations? If I know Hollywood, they'll probably ignore the movie.
Oh, yeah, they will.
So have a good weekend.
Take care.
Thank you.
And you take care.
All right, thanks, Bob. And enjoy your granddaughter, that's for sure. So far, it's grossed $45.7 million.
Wow.
And they're still saying, critics, it's an unlikely cinematic success.
Yeah. Let's get
Always
it
got
over.
to downplay it.
Let's get it over 100 million this weekend.
Let's get it over 100 million.
That's
Yes,
it.
go see Sound of Freedom. You can also go on Fandango, and order your tickets. That's where I got mine. And our theater was packed. I mean, there's 2 seats that said they were sold next to us, but no one was sitting there. But that's all right. Everybody else was in their seats. Let's go to Ralph in Wilmette. Hi, Ralph.
Hey, thanks, Amy, for taking the call. Hey, John.
Hey, Ralph.
And also, hello, Paul. I'm calling about the last thing to be said about the amateur submarine that went to see the Titanic. My heart really goes out to those folks, and I can't imagine. Well, I hate to imagine what they went through with 60 seconds of darkness before the death. But honestly, they paid a fortune to have the Titanic experience, and by golly, they got it. Welcome to a race to the bottom of the chilly Atlantic Ocean. Before you get, drowned and all that, the same as the Titanic folks. The only thing that they missed was exit through the gift shop.
Oh, God.
He started off great.
It started out great, yes. Yeah, they paid $250,000 each.
Dun-dun-dun.
$250,000, and then a dad brought his son. His son did not want to go.
Yeah.
But he did because it was Father's Day weekend. I mean, my God. And they spent $500,000.
There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm not going under
I know,
anything or out into space.
I didn't want to look at the darn thing. And he got material to build that from Camping World and from Home Depot.
Yeah. I'm a chump. I go to the Sirius Tower.
I'm not paying $500,000.
Yeah. The Sirius Towers, my son used to call it the Sirius Tower.
Really?
I go on that little ledge. I can't even go on there, Amy. I'm a punk. I'm a wimp with that.
I got on my hands and knees and crawled out there when it opened up, and I was working at LS at the time, and they said, "Well, you got to go do a story." I'm like, yeah.
The lady cracked it. Remember?
I remember. Okay, I don't even want to talk about it. I can't. And my kids were running around, jumping up and down on it, taking pictures. Like, please come in to the bosom. Come back. Get off the ledge. But kids love it, and so do some adults. All right, let's go to John in Bridgeport. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hi, John.
Hey guys, not a bad song, but I'm still in favor of How Great Thou Art. Just
Oh,
letting
yes.
you know. But
Yes.
anyway, two things coming up. Feeding off the last guy who wanted to know about the Sound of Freedom. There's going to be a press conference held by Michael Voris, a private and investigative journalist who's of the Catholic faith, and he's going to reveal on Thursday, July 20th, at that conference, all those politicians and Catholic bishops that are involved in illegal immigration, illegal sex trade, and are getting paid for by the Democratic Party. I hope the media covers it. That's why he's doing it there. But it should be a big thing. Amy, you might want to have your radar on that one.
Okay.
Second of all, Snelling, I think, is the lead favorite for police superintendent, but I hope you guys will ask him this question. What exactly in the use of force are you allowed to do with a person with a knife? Are you allowed to use deadly force? If you can't, then I think Jason Van Dyke might want to ask you guys a few questions. All right.
Yeah.
See you
All
guys.
right.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, John. You
I
take
still say
care.
Jason Van Dyke. The first 2 shots, he would have survived. There's no way he would have went to jail. The way I was trained, use of force, you have a weapon in your hand, I'm up in it. I'm pulling my weapon, and I'm stopping the threat. Cops do not shoot to kill anybody. They shoot to stop threats. Once the threat is subdued, you stop. You pull back. You go to the ready. That's how I was taught and trained at police academy in
You need to
Champaign.
talk to one of my sons.
Yeah.
Because they're watching all these anti-police videos on social media, and it's affecting his opinion on police officers.
Yeah.
So
Do a ride along. Have them do a ride along too.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
All right, Art and Skokie, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, hi, Amy and John. I appreciate what John mentioned about that song and stuff. And I want to say what lady, former president of Levi's, was yesterday on the show. And I think that maybe God used it. She lost her job and now she's doing much greater things.
Yep.
Sometimes maybe what Satan meant for evil, God can turn it into something much greater and more beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Art. And Art, I got to ask, are you Swedish? Because your voice, you sound like my grandpa.
No, maybe someday I'll tell you if I meet you in person.
Okay.
Boat
Well,
cruise.
it's always great to see you or hear your voice because you haven't called in a while. So thanks, Art, and have a great
I
weekend.
appreciate your show and thank you for doing it.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Art. Isn't he? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amazing.
he's got my grandpa's voice. He's probably not. I don't mean to make him old. He's probably not old, but I'm saying that is my grandpa's voice right there. All right, Tom in Blue Island, you're on Chicago's
Uh-oh.
Morning Answer.
Hey, Amy. Hey, brother.
Hey, bro.
So, John, that inspiring song was nice. It took only a little bit of the smoke out of my ears from that fool Bethany that you guys just interviewed.
Oh,
She's
not a fool. Be respectful.
She's telling us that the candidate that is 40 points ahead in the Republican primary can't win, and the guy that's down 40 points can't win. Well, John said something that these people never say. When they say Trump can't win, is there any explanation of how DeSantis can win?
No.
If even a small percentage of Trump supporters stay home, the Republicans' goose is cooked. He won the last 2 elections. He lost in these 4 battleground states, if you believe the results, which I don't, by less than 1%. And John made the point that none of these people make. This fool has been president for 3 years, and you're telling me that wouldn't redound to Trump's benefit? Donald Trump is the only Republican that's electable, not the only one that isn't electable. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Tom, for the phone call and for your passion. We really appreciate
Did you
it.
see Rona McDaniel on, I forget which station she was on, Chris Wallace. She was on with Chris Wallace, and he was trying to pigeonhole her into saying if she believed the election was, did Biden win? I still think something happened to that election. Is he president? Yes, he's president. And I didn't like how he was trying to pigeonhole her in there. Listen, there was some nefarious stuff that went on in that
Yes,
election.
there was ballot harvesting.
Everybody knows
there
it.
was
That's
things that
simple.
should not have happened.
Yeah.
And if you see 2,000 Mules,
Great
there's
movie.
parts of it where I'm like, and there's other parts where it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
All that surveillance video of people just shoving ballots.
Yeah.
and they grab ballots from people who are nursing homes, and they even said my mom is not capable of sound mind, body, and soul to vote. So I don't know why somebody voted in her without us knowing. That's fraud.
Yeah. And I lost my YouTube channel because I pointed out that the Democrats said the exact same thing in 2016 when Trump won.
And you lost? You haven't gotten it back yet?
No, they've completely deleted it, and I'm still upset. Yes.
Okay, Kevin in Austin, Texas, you have a shout out to John Anthony.
I do have a shout out to John Anthony. Amy, thanks for taking my call. John Anthony, I love Dan, and I like his insight in a lot of things, but I have to say you're a little bit more sweeter. So if you ever do a show with Dan, you could call it Bitter and Sweet. Anyhow, besides that, I would love to, Tom from Blue Island, I love his passion too, but I would love to see him if he got involved at the precinct level. And I want to ask your experience as a black conservative, what is it like? How much time do you have to put in to do that, to actually put your feelings and your passion that a lot of people have, in effect, to actually change the Republican Party? Don't get me wrong, I don't like the Illinois Republican Party either, as far as the top. But how do you change it from the bottom up, the inside out, practically? Who do you call, that type of thing?
Well, when I was actually a precinct committeeman. I actually I was in the part of Joliet was deep blue. I turned it red to where because you know why? I actually worked it.
You
I went door to door. I
Good for
introduced
you.
myself to people. I told them who I was, and a lot of people were like, "Wait, you black though? You a Republican? What?
You're black?
Yeah. I said, "Wait, I'm black?" Because there's a lot of people out there that don't think I'm black. So hey.
Oh, please.
No, seriously.
All right, good for you. You did the groundwork.
Yeah.
You put in the time.
Precinct committeeman work is that's how you change the chairman of the party, of the counties, and of the statewide party. So he's right.
All right, let's go to Frank quickly in Arlington Heights. Good morning, Frank.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Just wanted to share here at the end of the week some reflections on government in general. I'm reading this great book called Peter the Great, His Life and World by Robert K. Massey, the same guy who wrote Nicholas and Alexander, which they made a great movie on. And Peter was really a brutal man, ruled Russia from 1689 to 1725, did a lot of horrible things. The part in the book I'm at, though, is the beginning, and it's talking about the government in the 1650s, 1660s, when his father was czar. Here's a very good quote. I think we should reflect on it. Here's what it is. Meanwhile, the actual daily work of administering the czar's government was in the hands of between 30 and 40 departments known as prikazi. Generally speaking, they were inefficient, wasteful, overlapping, difficult to control, and corrupt. In brief, a bureaucracy which nobody had designed and over which no one had any real control. End quote.
Nice.
That I think is very. Nothing ever changed. Some things don't ever change.
Very apropos.
Today.
All right, thanks, Frank, for the phone.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too. Let's quickly go to Nick before we close things out with Chuck. Nick on the Northwest Side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, what an honor. Last time you put me on after Chuck and now before. I think you're trying to match us up. But anyhow, yeah. John, I'm looking forward to your show on Saturday at 4 p.m., right?
Yeah, 4 to 7.
Okay, yeah. And I love Verlon, his honesty and everything. I was going to say about the Army wants to allow people in who smoke a little marijuana. Hey, my only experience with marijuana was a long time ago when I was with a group of people, and most of them were smoking marijuana. I got a contact high, and that was the only time I got it in my system where I'm driving home, the light is green, then turns yellow, then red, and I'm still flying down the road, and I had to think that I got to stop or else I'm going to get into an accident in the intersection. I actually thought it out, and I hit the brake at the last second, so I opposed it. Okay, thank you. We'll make time for Chuck.
Thanks, Nick. I don't know. Don't smoke pot and drive. All right, Chuck. Delavan, Wisconsin. How are you, buddy?
Big Sunday, 1 to 4. Get over to the Thirsty Pair. Tony Ocean's going to be there. Hey, I'm a lot of times people come to Illinois. This is a public service announcement. I'm trying to help them to where people know that you're not from Illinois. So, like, if you walk into a bar and the air's not working, don't turn around and leave. Sit down, have a beer. If the bar stools are held together with duct tape and it sticks to your butt or your leg or something, don't worry about it, okay? If the faucets in the sink don't match, or if there ain't even faucets in the sink, don't worry about that either. If they're serving tacos on Thursday, sit down and have tacos on Thursday because they get confused. And the last thing is, don't get disgusted and turn around and leave. If the bartender is on a 55-minute cycle and then she goes outside to have a smoke and breastfeed her baby.
Okay.
You guys have a great
All right, take care.
Thanks, Chuck.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
AM560, The Answer.
All right. Thanks so much for making us part of your morning, part of your lives. Thanks to Justin Kosick, who's getting ready to get married in a few months, to Beth, or Bethany. I don't know what we're calling her these days. And to Quinn McCarthy for being the best executive producer. And you want to say something before we go, yes?
Go to blackandwhiteradio.com. Get the merch.
Yep, blackandwhiteradio.com. Thank you so much, John Anthony. Now let's head into that newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
A search firm is naming 3 finalists for police superintendent. WIND Chicago News Time is...
A serial killer